You're in.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching in the world. Sean Driver, the Red Horde. Brendan is with me. It is December 3rd. It is match week 19? 18. I didn't look at that. I probably should have in advance. But Barnsley, doesn't matter, visiting the racecourse. A battle of top two teams. If you've been following along for the season, this is sort of the end of a gauntlet. We've had a couple of gauntlets and a couple of softer patches in the first half of the season. And so this is a big one. This is going to be a tough one. If you watch the Who Are Ya before this one, the statistics on the two teams very, very close, pretty much along all categories. The only difference, they have a little bit more possession, a little bit more touch in the box, not quite as efficient, where we have the improved goalkeeping. But as far as hoofball, kicking it down, other than the similar styles, it just really boils down to execution in the box and the amount of touches that they get in the box. Brendan is sitting there with me. Who's going to tell him about the treats, or do we wait and just do the intro first?
It's totally up to you. We also got Andy, one of the Red Horde listeners, sent in a kind of his own little, I don't know where he got it or if he made himself, infographic about the games being played today in League One that I can pull up.
Yeah, do that. I haven't seen it, so I'm gonna have to. I'll have to sit and wait for it to show up on the YouTube channel so that I can follow along. But go ahead and put that up there, and then you can take us through it, and I'll get to it eventually.
Yeah. So
or the Discord. I can go to the Discord, I guess. Go for it.
Yeah. No, it's just it's showing our game, and it gives kind of.
Yeah, do that. I haven't seen it, so
I'm getting an echo, I think, from you.
Yeah, you are. I've canceled it. I've shut it off. It should be.
You just have to mute the stream.
Got it.
If you're watching it. Yeah, so it breaks down the teams and kind of some like what their position in the standings is and what their current record is if they're on a streak and stuff like that. So it's showing Wrexham, Barnsley. It's showing Exeter, Wickham, which obviously is an important game. We're looking for Wickham to lose. We're looking at Birmingham, Stockport. So we're looking obviously for Birmingham to drop points, and Huddersfield, Wigan, Reading, and Cambridge, Bolton and Mansfield, Lincoln and Rotherham, Charlton and Crawley, Peterborough and Burton Albion. We got Leyton Orient and Bristol Rovers, Shrewsbury and Blackpool, and then to round it off, Stevenage and Northampton.
Perfect. I haven't even had an opportunity. It's been a crazy day at work, but as far as this one all goes, I haven't even focused on the stuff that's going on around us. It's just been living the dream of trying to make sure that we take the 3 points here. And so I appreciate the work that was done on that. If you guys want to contribute, the Discord, we should put the link somewhere. I'm going to have to pull that while we're going through things and get the introduction as to how people can join. Where am I going here with the other information? I didn't send you the graphics, did I, for this one, the work that I did on the Who Are Ya series. What can I tell you just in general terms? I've already sort of foreshadowed it. We'll get to the roster in a moment here. There's been talk about the COSM already. LA, Houston, obviously showcasing this one. And so lots of people are going to be there, we assume, giving feedback on what that's about. They're going to have 6 EFL games, I believe, are scheduled to have been going on. $39 up to $63, I believe it is, for people to go and check there. I'm jealous. I'm hoping they bring one to Vancouver. And word on the street, yes, that Rob and Ryan will be at the LA venue. So that could be intriguing. The official... Speedy, if I recall his name correctly, he's experienced as far as this level of competition goes. Doesn't call a lot, doesn't give away a lot of cards, but he does call a lot of fouls. So we'll see how that plays up in this one. Do we jump on? Do you have the roster cards there? Let's get through that. And
I don't have the roster cards, but I do have the
roster cards.
lineup.
Yeah, the starting lineup. That's what I wanted. Yeah, perfect. So no changes until you get to the bench. Burton getting the start. And I will say this. I made this comment during the Who Are Ya series. When you have a team that has a lot of touches in the box, to put it into perspective, almost double, 127 to 65 as far as touches in the box and shots up from inside the box. So they lead the league in that regard. We're near the bottom. I think positional play is going to be key. Burton arguably a potential better option, because it's not going to be shot stopper skill, coming up with an amazing save on a cracking attempt from 20, 25, 30 yards. That's not how they play. It's going to be trying to make sure they don't get the ball and we're quick to react. And I think that Callum might be a little bit better in that regard than Arthur. Who would have thought before this whole experience started that we'd end up saying, we've got a 1A, 1B situation we call it in hockey as goalkeeper. We don't have a number one. We have a 1A, 1B, both in different circumstances. I'm confident with going. Do you have the same sense, Brendan?
Yeah, and I agreed with you when you made a really great point about maybe certain teams we would be better running one goalie as opposed to the other. One being able to get to all sorts of shots, and the other one being a lot smarter about when to come out and how to punch the ball out, take care of the ball in traffic, which is definitely Burton. So yeah, if a team's going to be getting a lot of corners and stuff like that, then maybe Burton's your guy. And if you're worried about a fast counterattacking team and you're looking for a keeper to be able to cover, all parts of the net, then it's Arthur.
Well, I take over here, Brendan. If you wanted to find that link and throw it into the Discord, breaking news, I just bought my tickets for the Cosm LA game, January 23rd versus Birmingham. That's amazing, Travis. You're going to have to give us an update. But share the Discord. I'll pin it so that people can join there and we can get through things on our end. To correct my stats, I gave the stats of 127 to 65. That's with respect to corners, which further goes to the statement that I think that Ogarko's better in open play, better from shots that are at a distance. The set play, I prefer Burton, because Burton, not including penalty kicks, but including free kicks and crosses and corners, because I just think he's more dominant and more willing to go out and clear ball so that the opportunity is lost. And so 127 corners to 65. That's near double. The touches in the box, 413. I thought in my head that was a little low. 413 for first overall in League One, 312. So almost 100 more touches in the box over these games so far this year. So that's who we're going to get. Look, the back line, how do you take out Brent, Cleworth, or O'Connell? Like 2 clean sheets in a row. There's some, you always have the discussion. Scar, is he better than O'Connell? Yes, in some instances. I think he's a better defender. I think EOC's better at pushing the ball forward. Brunt has been very good. Rob Ryan Red thought that he was man of the match. I thought that you had to take him out of consideration for man of the match because he got beat again. He pulls too close to defenders sometimes.
I agree.
Speed. If he can take that out of his game, he's Max Cleworth like defender. He's godlike defender.
I think when they rate people, they ignore all the negatives and only look at the positives and then talk about them. Like that. They seem to do that where you very rarely see them balance a guy out, his pros versus his cons, and then what you get.
Where we're old curmudgeons and we have no problem expressing our opinion exactly as it is. So, Lewis, you know what? Let's be honest. At the start of the year, after the first couple of games, after watching him live in Vancouver, I was like, ugh, this is not the guy I thought he was going to be. He's found his feet. And is he perfect? No, but nobody is. I'm sure as hell I'm not. So I'm okay with what he's become and what he is becoming. And I'm no complaints about the back line, but we've got TOC who's not in the subs bench, by the way. So it's just Scar is the only sub that because there's a bigger change, and we'll get to that. The wings, Barnett and McLean, no surprise there. Matty James, Dobson, and Rathbone. Question, Brendan, when it comes to that as the lineup, with Barnsley, does it matter who we have, Rathbone at the back or James? Do you have a preference, and what's your thoughts?
I'm a James guy, and I don't know. I mean, I guess I like Rathbone to get in the way and disrupt things, but I'm thinking the best chance to get an ideal pass forward into a good position to score would be from James.
Fascinating. I had thought that you were going to go the other way. I thought that you were going to. So I'm more concerned about how many touches in the box that they have. 413 touches in the box means I want to have a poacher. I need to have somebody who's going to be in there to take ball from feet.
But isn't that Dobson?
Yeah, but that's what. So if you're doing the triangle, I want Dobson closest to the center backs and to the back line, and
yes.
then I want, and normally I've like last game we complained about about Dobson being up anywhere close to being an attacker. But I think
exactly. I want that inverted. I want Dobson in the back, James with the forwards.
I thought you were talking. You wanted the pass from James to be the
No. I mean, Dobson. Yeah, I don't want fine passes. He cannot do. He's not bad with the long crosses out wide to Barnett or potentially getting McLean going. He's fine there. It's the very fine passes in between guys in tight spaces that worries me. I just don't find him to be accurate in that sense. So
yeah, I'm with you. So it'll be interesting to see how that one all pans out. Elliot Lee, Ollie Palmer up front, whether you want to call it the 5-3-1-1 or the 5-3-2. I think there's still debate out there whether does Lee do exactly what Mullen had been doing all year, or is he playing off more and sort of filling into that additional midfielder role? I, to be fair, haven't noticed that much of a change, so I haven't been calling it a 5-3-1-1. It's just a 5-3-2 still. But it's for a debate. Have you seen a difference out of Lee positionally compared to where Mullen is positionally?
Yeah, I don't think Lee stays as high. I actually see Lee leaking back into the midfield a little too much. Palmer seems to be that one out by himself, messing with the defense, and Lee seems to be coming back and then rush forward, which is probably better. Mullen has a tendency to sit up there and get beat on by the center backs, and he doesn't surprise them by coming free. He's always too close to them. So I'm not against the way Lee's doing it, but it's certainly different from Mullen, who's all the way far forward messing with center backs, and unfortunately is often just offsides. Lee hasn't been anywhere near offsides most of the time when he tries to make his runs. So right. It's a different way to go about it.
I'm going to generate a new link here. How come I'm going to put this in the server and see if this works here for the Discord. Wow, no, that's not it. That's my fun yesterday watching Hansard stuff. Let's get into the fun of this one a little bit. You've been working on some stuff in the background of OBS, and much of massive appreciation. We had a couple of members. It was Vince, Vinyl, and was it Dave that were there? Was it Dave or was it? I can't remember who it was. The other David Foster, I believe.
Dave Wood or Dave Foster, one of the
Foster.
two.
It was David Foster, I believe, that was there. In any event, that were there to help us test it out. And so we've got some added features that we're going to try that allows for a little bit more of an opportunity for you to control what happens with the broadcast. And that means that there's going to be the use of exclamation marks and some certain phrases that will trigger certain sounds, events, triggers, events, videos, audios, GIFs, those sorts of things. It's new. We've got a cap on it, so it's not going to be over the top, but feel free sporadically, once you learn what those are, to kind of get them out there. Why don't you, Brendan, maybe lead them through testing one of them while we're in the pregame, if we wanted to do that?
Sure. I'm going to put you in your typical mode, and when you're up with the scoreboard, what we're going to have here, 1 second. So this is how you're typically functioning. I typically run all of the flops, but I figured that I shouldn't be the one to have all the fun. And if others want to generate a random flop GIF, all they have to do, if they're a subscriber, is hit the exclamation mark flop. And if someone is to do that right now, it should generate a flop GIF up on the screen.
And so the start of many little added features that we're going to try to do to get them out there. So looking for an exclamation mark flop, and if you put that in there, you should get it, as long as it's not Cool and the Gang. For those of you who haven't been here or don't know, we got our first copyright strike notice playing a little bit of cooling the gang in the background. So we're looking for options, but one of those options is, there it is, Deandra's throwing it out there. Now we get 3. G-Zone's going to trigger it the first time, and the other 2 won't have it, but you'll get that. And I don't even see what this is and where it is on the screen until I go through and watch this in the background. So I'm a little bit nervous about some of the controls, whether I end up getting punched in the face eventually by an animated graphic or however it ends up building. But let us know your thoughts. I see no flop GIF. It takes a little bit of time.
Yeah, it showed up.
It showed up. It takes there's a latency involved here. We end up filming this and then we have to wait about 5 seconds for it to happen. So when you hit the exclamation mark, it'll take about 5 seconds for it to process through the system and get there. But it will come out. And so your first flop is a flop.
So if someone wants to start the chants in the background, I have about a dozen random chants that were recorded at the Kairos, and if you put in the exclamation point Wrexham, it will play for, I don't know, like 10 seconds. There'll be a chant will go on in the background. Hopefully that doesn't overpower Sean talking.
We did test the audio, so we're hoping. So we'll take the feedback from you guys and whether you like the features or not. I don't know whether that flop GIF, it triggered on your end on OBS. They'll have to let us know if we saw it, because in the comments they're saying it was a flop, which means I don't know. Hey, it's just a dozen, but they don't all have to be played. But there's the first one.
Okay.
And
can you hear that?
And I can hear it in the background in my headset, which means you should be able to hear it where you are. And the only thing is if you've got the audio playing with the output monitor on your end, on your OBS, then it'll get the reverb going out to them, but we can clear that up afterwards. So a couple of technical glitchy things that we'll try with, but we'll play with them, and we'll get them perfected, and then we'll give you guys some more control. It works. Yes. Good stuff. So those are the triggers. We'll give you updates, and I got to change my audio on this because holy, did it just jump up from? Whoa, that was ear piercing from the music in the background. And I will say this about the pregame music today at the Kairos is the best that it's been in since I've heard it. I don't know who was responsible today for it, but yeah, it was good stuff. Oh, and other Vince is in there, and he's testing to see if that other one is in the background that he knows is there.
It is. It's Super PM, though. It's not Mullen.
Oh, it's Super PM. So we'll have to come up with a list, and we'll provide those. Feel free to, on the flop, also worked good. So everything is ticking along there. We'll have to get to a list. I think what we end up doing is we provide this Discord, and you put the search terms for Discord, but is there just a link? I've been trying to find out, and it gives me like to invite people, server settings. I was trying to find a link so that people can end up clicking and going to it with no success at the moment. And there's, I can hear it triggered in the background for you guys. Shetland Islands reporting for duty. A cold Godfather in hand and a beer butt chicken in the oven. Everything is good. We're like kids with new toys. That's the whole idea. And there is a limit as to how many times it can be triggered. So it's not going to be overwhelming. The volume is hopefully low enough that it's just ambiance and character and a little bit of added fill and a little bit of fun. And we'll see if we can add some features. Whoa. I follow with the glitchy audio itself. So there's going to be some limits to what time limits, and we may end up adding some sort of a point system that you have to watch for so long before you're able to trigger an event to sort of control things. But for right now, it's supporters only. So that means you've got to have that $1 per month subscription thing by hitting the join button down on the bottom. And if you do that, you can take part. We may end up changing that to be everybody. But for right now, it's not just the supporters, those who have said, are not the followers on YouTube, but the actual supporters, those that are paying the $1. So if you've tried to make it and you can't post it, you need to be like Wild and Free Canadian, who's got the little logo next to his name, or Deandra, who are paying the $1 a month. So, which most of the chat is. The regulars are all here. It's the new people. Like button down below, subscribe button, and before I forget, and I don't have the pin handy somewhere, do I? Yes, I do. Ultimate Promotions, the sponsor, making sure it's ad-free and we don't have the annoying pop-ups. If you're looking for pins, you're looking for badges, you're looking for those sorts of things, check out. Altipromo.com, ultimatepromotions.biz, free artwork, free shipping. They do it for sport pin trading. If you've got employment, work recognition things, if you need medals for events, go and check them on. And hey, David, how are you? Glad to see everybody's signing up and checking in. Is this one at the Cossum, but without Mark Griffiths is the broadcaster? I'm not at the Cossum, but I got a big screen TV right in front of me, so it's not entirely painful. And I'll take this. I'm excited about this one. I'm going with a 2-1 win. This one's gonna be a fight. This one's gonna be a battle. You compare the three teams that have recently come in: Exeter City, Lincoln City, and Barnsley, and you look not just at where they are in the standings, but also how they perform. And there were massive holes in Exeter City with respect to their statistics, and it was sort of surprising they were performing as well as they were. Lincoln City, much better, but there were still some questions and curiosities as to where they are. Barnsley, a much more complete team. The biggest thing is their keeper. They've had to go with the sub, and it's too bad. I feel like, I don't know for you, Brendan, did you feel somewhat robbed in this one? Because you had an opportunity to see potentially the U.S. men's national team's next great goalkeeper. He out with injury. Is that frustrating to you? Do you still get Donovan Pines is on the bench, a former national team member who's now playing for Barnsley. So there is that. But does the American influence and the storyline impact your viewing of Wrexham at all?
Not for a keeper, no. There's certain American players that I wouldn't mind seeing, but that keeper is not anything that excites or interests me. I mean, I think I'll be more interested when Wrexham gets an American or a Canadian, or I'll actually be really excited for any international. I mean, I get, does Bart Varson count? But I guess any North or South American would be interesting, I think.
Yeah, I'm about the same way. I mean, as much as right now I'm miffed at the U.S. men's national team, who we beat in the U.S. recently. Canada did, still being on the top of the CONCACAF rankings, and not only that, we went down despite being the best performing out of Mexico, the U.S. and Canada, the best performers in CONCACAF over the last year, and specifically the last 3 months. We were the only team that made it to the semifinals of the Copa America. We are now in the semifinals of the Gold Cup, the Nations League. And we went down in the CONCACAF rankings while going up in FIFA. And I was like, God, the CONCACAF's just rigged against Canada. It's the big, powerful Americans bullying us, everybody. Which is like, and there's other Vince. Did that one trigger, or is that on the timeline?
It didn't trigger because I wasn't on the right screen. I'm on a different screen showing the when we're in game, that will work.
When we're in game, that would work. Okay, so we're getting close to everything starting up here. I hope I'm in the right spot for you, Brendan. You'll have to tell me if you need me to move left, right, up, down, center.
There it goes. Now it just kicked in.
Yeah, perfect.
It was waiting for me to get back here.
And I just have you from my headset. There we go. So we'll figure this out as we go through it, but it's another little feature, and we'll give you the details. We'll have to join the Discord, and if you can get the link, I'm trying to find the way. I thought there was a way to get a link to.
Yeah, I forget how to get the link, and what's difficult is if I'm switching around on screens, depending on what I'm trying to present to everybody through OBS, it sees me doing a whole bunch of other stuff. So I really struggle to do things live sometimes.
And we're affecting the productivity everywhere. Deandra with an hour to go, and she's now sent it in, packed it in. And Giselle's on her lunch break at school, I believe, if I got that correct. And so she's taking a break. I'm taking a break. And then I've got a whole lot of work to do tonight. As Ben Speedy, I did have it right. Experienced official. Doesn't like giving out the cards, but he will blow down a lot of fouls. Jeannie, how are you? And so, White Kid, I love that jersey. The White Rose, if you didn't watch the whole Lancaster, and Yorkshire War of the Roses, 1458 and 1485. When was the final battle where the King of York, the Yorkshire King Richard, ended up dying? and Yorkshire lost that war. The House of York no more, as far as the monarchy is concerned. And but they still White Rose, which I hear we're underway, and I need to bring up the right stuff so that I can actually follow along on this one. Barnsley with control to start things early, and we'll see how things go as we're trying to figure out the numbers. And already I see one that doesn't accord with anything on the list, and I'm wondering if there was a sub that came in for them, or it's just my inability to read it. O'Connell knocks it down. Brunt easily controlled, and that first possession gets set away relatively neatly, and now the scramble is on as Matty James has it. Screaming for handball, and they do give it. It took a little bit of time. I think they sold that one. Howdy, Alex. How are you? Parent-teacher conferences tonight. Nothing better than preparing for Deandra for parent-teacher interviews by soaking in some Wrexham. So free kick from, let's call it 40 yards away. So this will be into the box, everybody lining up accordingly. The possession right where we want it, 36% right now. Giselle feeling the pain. Hey, it could be worse. I'm going to the school to help figure out how my kids can better adjust on a special parent-teacher interview period. The move a little too much for them, I think. Anyways, ahead of the way. Sorry, I missed that.
No, I said Toronto in the house saying hello to you.
Oh, yeah. Easbert from Tirana. Fascinating enough, and I was telling Brennan this and he didn't believe me. The top 5 cities that watch me are 4 of them are in the UK. London, Wrexham, there's another Wales town that's nearby, and Birmingham, interestingly enough. And then we go international, and of all the cities in the world, I didn't expect this one, Toronto, most views on my channel as a set. So I don't know, Easbert, if you're contributing to that, partially, I guess, today, but more than anybody else. And I thought with Massachusetts and Brendan and whoever else down in Texas, all of you guys all over, it wasn't Toronto that I had pegged for that. But in any event, scrambles through the midfield and easily controlled after a hoof ball down that did nothing, and Killip gets his first touch, and we watch him advance it forward. I have him pegged as a 29-year-old sort of journeyman goalkeeper that's filling in the role. Desperate. And here's a touch in the box and dangerous, and not the Keeler done, blocked. O'Connell able to get over. Still free. This is that touch in the box stuff. And pity patter, and that's what we've got to worry about. They just eke it into the box, and then it's scramble and poach. And we've got to, A, deny its entry, but B, make sure we clear here as Brunt. Now it's scramble again. And they've had 4 or 5 people in front, which does open it up for counter attacks if we're able to get there, but headed down, but given again, right to the feet of Keeler Dunn. That's twice already. He just seems to be a vacuum whenever we play him, and he finds it. The former Mansfield Stag man. And oh yes, don't forget Johannesburg. Manchester, yes, we do get that. Fair enough, Santiago. But yeah, US, Mexico, and Canada, the ranking of CONCACAF teams, even though on FIFA, we're higher than we've ever been, breaking our records into the top 30s, the high 30s. Palmer, the counterattack. This is how this game is going to go. We're 3 minutes in, and we can script it. It's going to be touch, and then we're going to go on a mass run the other way and try to score before the white jerseys get back. We don't there. The White Rose, counter the other way. Yikes, all over. And guess who to the rescue? Cleworth. Amazing tackle off of Keeler Dunn, who was going the other way. Oh, I got to breathe. This is all over the place. So now through the midfield, trying to get the counter the other way. Now it settles down, and Roberts goes, whoa. Let's slow this down. Exeter up 1-0 on Wickham. Let's go. W scores. We love you so far, sir. Ellis, another Toronto lad. See, this is now going to be the thing, is identify all the Torontonians. So, long kick here. Killip getting it back underway. Had 30 seconds, or not even 10 seconds, to kind of catch our breath as it's a bit of a scramble. Knocked down there by Matty James to set it up for a clearance by Brunt, but not able to find Dobson, who's now pushing it forward. Lee unable to get it. Here they come the other way. Handball, big shout, but nobody grabs it. And we're able to get it. And it's just a scramble. Center backs, midfield, center backs. and it's down to Earl, who just runs it past everybody, and Dobson has to step up and slide in there as it goes to Gent, who gets the cross in, headed away by Cleworth, and it's 20 yards out with possession with Barnsley. We're going to see this all day long. The experienced keeper, he's just not a shot stopper, and we're going to have to be precise in this one, because I think we're going to get limited opportunities, and they're going to maintain the ball, lots of touches in the box. Probably it's going to be a bend, don't break mentality defensively for this one. And when it's time to go, get on your horse and roll, lads. O'Keefe, right-hand side, moves it forward. Russell. Yes, good shout out, actually. Fearless in Devotion for the FID podcast got the Football Supporters Association Supporter Podcast of the Year. An impressive award to take home. And so kudos to Fearless in Devotion. Find them wherever you watch, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, or YouTube Podcasts. They changed it from Google to YouTube Podcasts. Wherever you get it. That's a good shout, Vince. It pays to be a little bit grumpy, because when I compare them with Rob and Ryan, I find a little bit more positivity on one and a little bit more curmudgeon on the other. And so you can feel, depending on your mood. A good ball up to Palmer. He holds it up nicely, gets it to Lee. McLean on the left-hand side. Red jerseys coming forward. Counter attack. Cross into the box, going far to Barney. Didn't get kind of that far enough and wasn't there for Palmer. And Lee climbs the ladder. No foul call. Just give it to a goal kick. Interesting. I thought Lee for sure went over the back on that one, and there was going to be a free kick going the other way, especially given Speedy's penchants to blow down fouls. But instead, we're going to have a battle in the midfield between the center backs that control down to Cleworth, who tries to loop it forward, and nothing there. And so it comes back the other way. Cleworth, header away. Header. Sky ball. Who's going to get control of this at their feet? Lee tries to get over there and get it from their back line. And if you missed it from the Who Are You, 6'1", 6'4", 6'4", and they got a 6'7" guy on the bench. And so for poor whole little Elliot Lee running around on there, he's going to have some options. That's a dangerous ball forward, and there's their corner. It's early, but it's fitting the script, isn't it, Brendan?
Yeah. Well, they hoof it down there, and then dump a lot of bodies in the box.
Yeah. Barnsley fans all over it. It's going to be Connell who's going to take a left-footed in-swinger from the right-hand side. All these big bodies moving forward, 6'4", 6'7", 6'7". Humphrey's another big lad there. 6'3". There's some giants. There's some trees in the center of the box. And the Wrexham fans countering the Barnsley noise. It's a fan battle in this one, which is always fun on a Tuesday night. Cross curler Palmer comes out, finds it, heads it away. Barney, the counter, is it on? Can he get control of it? Barney chips it forward. He's wiped out. Referee's going to give a free kick, but no foul. I mean, we had those counterattack opportunities when you strip them away. O'Keefe taking out Barney.
I think he's got to do something.
But it fits with, I mean, we're going to script here. Speedy doesn't give out cards. I mean, in any other referee, I think that's a card.
He didn't touch the ball. He took out the guy's legs.
Yeah, a professional foul. A professional foul. And that he took him out, but it wasn't egregious. Sarah responsoring up 9 months, able to take part in the audio. If you can do that by hitting the join button below for anybody that's watching. The like button, also important, letting the algorithm know that we're here. And Matty James with it switches on over to Cleworth on the right-hand side. The press, not as severe as we saw against Lincoln. We're getting time to breathe. The challenges, when they have it, they're coming at us. Nice ball. James into the box. That was a gorgeous pass, and James missed it, but it's hanging there for Rathbone, who goes and cleans it up. Wow, that pass all the way out to James. Dobson with it, stabs it over to Barney. He's going to go for a cracker, and Killip makes the save. Barney testing him. And is McLean going to get there and let it go? No, it leaves it. So he saves it. So we've got an opportunity. Right foot, far post. Barney going to try and get there, and it's going to be headed out. And is it a throw or a corner? We'll take a corner. Pressure. Love it. Love it. That pass Can we see that floating pass out to McLean on the left-hand side? Was that Max who dished that one out? Did you see?
No, I didn't see who sent it.
Hey, Sarah from Blackpool. I hope all is well with you.
That was a hell of a off-foot kick by Barney. He almost hooked it in around the edge.
Andy's angry. Reese is on a ledge. Andy and Liam are usually upbeat, and Tim's the even keel. There you go. The summary of Fearless in Devotion. Low, flat, and cleared, thumped away by Russell. Sky ball, and it's going to be collected by McLean. He's on the right side, going to take somebody on. Left footer, no, he gets it to Barney, and service is up, but it's blocked away. Barney able to collect it again and just delivers it. High sky ball, bouncing around, and they're turning the other way. Interesting that sky ball, they moved a lot of players forward. If that would have been a turnover the other way, you would have had a lot of their players who were there potentially defensively to grab it, turning for the break before it got preserved. So, you got to be conscious that they'll break the zone early. Cherry picking, we call it in hockey. What do they call it in football? Cherry picking, when you send people up that they ignore their defensive responsibilities for the glory of the goal. That's the most egregious and obvious cherry picking I've seen. Roberts, or no, that's Earl. Earl to the Givigny, loses it. Palmer not able to control it, and it gets down to Roberts on his feet. Roberts of 6 yellow cards so far this season. He's already served his suspension and picked up another one since he came back. Humphreys wins the battle. 18-yard box. Humphreys standing out just in front, and it's knocked away, and Matty James settles it down, gets it over to McLean, and McLean, left footer, threw the ball over to Palmer, and he's got support from EOC all the way up. Was that? Oh, no, that was Matty James. I was going to say, what's EOC doing all the way up there? Matty James coming up and filling in as in support makes sense. Settling it down. Oh, man.
That's nice to see him up forward, though. So's, all the midfielders are way up.
Poaching, Solar. I don't know where you are in the feed. When I reference poaching, it's those players. Jonathan David, who plays for Lille and the Canadian men's national team, is one of the best poachers around. He's up there with Mbappe on scoring in League One in the French league. Last year, he was second overall. He's up there again near the top this year in the scoring. And he's a poacher. A little guy up in the box, and it just seems the ball finds him. He poaches the ball from people and ends up putting it in the back of the net. Is there a Roxits? Indeed, Santiago. Appreciate. Sometimes it's a refresh, Santiago, I find, too. It might get more likes, but I do appreciate all of them out there as we've just had Killip get it underway, long ball down, and EOC has it. And as he does, and this is the one part of his game that I see is better as Scar, is him carrying the ball into open space. The pass doesn't work, but then it turned over back to Lee. He's dancing around 2-3 guys and able to maintain control, and well done. Lee there. Dobson makes himself the outlet, and we secure the ball. And now we can build forward as Matty James comes back, and I was giving credit to Lee, and that was Matty James. I obviously am confusing Matty James for everybody else on the pitch.
Yeah, they're all letting their hair grow long, and it's dark. So now it's like,
yeah, you compare even the gait with EOC, and there's some similarities there. As Brunt just goes around a man, flick forward. Did he get the pass wrong? Yeah, he did get the pass wrong. Goes out of bounds.
It doesn't look like there's much of a size difference between Lee and James. That's why they both 30. They both have high 30 numbers, and they're roughly the same size.
Well, I think you just get familiar as to where people are at, and that's why I was like Lee, but what's he doing there? Maybe it is a 5-3-1-1. I'll be 1 second here.
Yeah, nobody gets it, Mike. Nobody. It's okay.
My wife, who just came in, Mike, doesn't understand it. Trying to explain Red Horde to my wife, 2 guys in North America providing commentary on a live platform for Team in Wales. That's exactly it. But she just came down and was like, I need you. And I was like, can I wait till the half? So, Brendan, you might be doing a little bit of solo here. Exclamation mark kids.
Yeah.
Is that one? I don't think so.
Yeah, just say when.
It's transparent? Is it? Is the green? Is it? Oh, maybe because when it gets down close to the chroma, it's picking up the green and making it transparent. Fascinating. I don't think we can change that other than I have to just wear a different kit. 15 minutes and 15 seconds into this one here. And we're going to get underway as Burton thumps it down far right, looking for Palmer. Barney's there in support. It's going to go out. Yes, it does. Bounced on. Barney tried to save it, not able to, and it's going to be a throw-in for the Tykes. I do like Colliers, even though they stopped using it in the 60s and 70s. Monterey, not in Berkeley. My wife supports my watching the Red Horde. Perfect. That's what we need. I should make a T-shirt to that effect. My wife says this is okay. Oh, Dobson tried to get the drag and couldn't do it. And there's dangerous opportunities there if it was just that one little drag from Dobson. If he got around the defender, Palmer was in free. And then it came back the other way and got sent over. And if it gets on the other side of the defender, Palmer's away free. But Barnsley doing a little bend, don't break defensively as they look to build up now through Roberts. Oh, boy. Still 1-0 as I have it. Exeter over Wickham. Waiting on goals otherwise. W&G always with the updates there and much appreciation for it. It's with Earl. He's drawing it back. Settling it down is Barnsley. De Givigny. I'm not French. But you do wee-wee. Just wee-wee. My son hopefully will be able to. Doing the French version. I was offside and it was only just by like a foot. Had the inside of Earl on the left-hand side, but just curled a little bit too quick. I think it was the right call, but hard to tell exactly when the contact was made with the ball. And there's another score update just on cue. W&G is Leighton Orient. A battle near the bottom. 1-0 over Bristol Rovers. Logo on the scorebar overlay. Yeah, that must be a feature of the chroma, clearing that one out. We'll have to figure it out. I am not going to lie to you. My new place has an amazing, gorgeous view of the mountain over the background. It's stunning. And I can't see the ocean, but it's just right over there. It's pretty fortunate where we've ended up landing. My wife ordering that doesn't matter if we have all the money in the world, we're not allowed to leave this place. So I guess that's good news. Russell draws it back. They're moving forward, inching forward as Earl comes and fills in on the left-hand side. High ball, far post, and that's just going to go too far and be a goal kick. We'll take that. Is the heart rate down? That it was manic there for a moment, wasn't it? The first 10 minutes, 12 minutes or so, just absolutely both teams shot out of a cannon.
Yeah, let's have someone fire up a chant here.
Yeah, we need the exclamation mark Wrexham. Burton with a short ball over to Cluworth, put him under pressure a little bit, and Dobson able to get the loose ball, and that's offside by about 3, 4, 5 feet there. Lee, over exuberant, and got too far on Roberts. And so Killip comes all the way out. Given where the position is 40 yards away from goal, this is one that you'd almost expect for him to put into the box. There it is. G-zone accommodating. With the background noise for the people that are just joining, adding new features here. And so every once in a while that can get played and feed the background of our own broadcast. Palmer into a battle, gets a shove and a push. No call on the foul. It's entered in, and there's Burton coming out with a stab. And then James frames him out, loses the ball, though, after the framing out. And Dobson's got to get there. And whoa! Whew, a missed opportunity as it's cleared left there as Dobson went for the diving tackle and couldn't get far enough. And I'm glad he pulled up, because if he had gone farther, that would have been a yellow, but he held up.
That is a hilarious idea. So Solar thought that we could hook a heart monitor up, and it would have one of those little things that would go up into the red. Yeah. Woo!
Vince says the background audio is perfect. Good stuff. Well done, Brendan, on setting all this stuff up in the background. Not easy and not. I'll say it's it's intuitive, I think. It just takes a lot of time to connect everything, right? Is that a fair explanation?
Yeah. There was some tricky stuff. There's trying to figure out the logic behind the application after you get everything connected. And yeah, it's a little finicky. This is not good. He didn't look okay when Burton when he went down.
I missed him going down there.
Yeah, he looked like I think he pulled something, maybe a groin or something when the shot went far wide and he reacted quickly to it and then like came up limp and went down.
Howard taking the top off is what Mark Griffiths said in the background. And don't have to worry about me. I'm all for having a little bit of fun with this thing.
Yeah, by Saturday I should have a bunch of a considerable, some really fun commands for people to fire off.
And so for those of you that are listening over on Twitch or over on Twitter, and it looks like this is going to be a sub, Howard's putting the gloves on. This is a serious switch as Exeter up 2-0 on Wickham. Yeah, Parkin given the
hamstring.
Well, down to
yeah. I thought it was.
Is he bracing for his shoulder or is it his leg? Like that's one of those things where. Or no, that's a leg.
It's his leg.
Burton out. Ogonko out. Howard sliding in. Chomp. Well, we know this. If there was ever to be a goal from our keeper.
Yes. Wait, it's an offensive move right here.
Yeah, that's what they put in a new striker at the same time.
If Chomp is going to play 7-on-7 anywhere, I want to watch it.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
Saying that right now, he made watching that 7-on-7 tournament awesome.
That's unfortunate for Burton. He was doing so well. Frustration continues, and here comes Chomp.
They don't really let him warm up or anything, do they? They just they don't let
him. Throw him to the Wolves.
Yeah.
At least 4 more weeks for Ogonko, isn't it? Last I heard.
I don't know the exact number.
So we're going to go through, I think, most of the month of December here, potentially, with Chomp. So, friend at the Costume LA just shared a picture of a packed crowd, a Wrexham lager in hand, and they just got it there just in time. So good stuff for them. Hopefully it is just minor. And yeah, Stevenage 1-0. And I saw your mom's here. I clicked on that, Brandon.
Oh, yeah, there they are.
Comment in the. Well, let's see how that changes the play. That's a handball. It came off of his left leg, but playing advantage maybe. Palmer gives a crack at it. I don't know. That came off of his left leg and nicked. Well done. But he tried to backheel it over to McLean and not there for him, and it goes out, and so they'll get a throw in. An opportunity there immediately after the sub, and good on them for letting Howard get an opportunity to breathe on this one. And the unfortunate thing, that's the use of a sub window due to the injury, so 2 remaining.
You know, I'm not old. I think Chomp has some. He's more closely related to Burton's skill set, I think.
Yeah.
You know, like he's smart. He knows when to come out. He punches stuff out well. He just doesn't have the range.
KG veteran, and it's and not quite as quick, I think, as a shot stopper as Burton. I think he's just.
Oh yeah. No. Burton's better. Ooh. I just mean a similar skill set. Just a little.
Exclamation mark flop.
Yeah.
As Earl hits the deck. Let's rewatch this one as Earl goes away and. Yeah. I'll tell you, defensively, since Howard's come in, we're not giving them a sniff of the ball right now. Kluworth with an opportunity, Barney's offside. It hit his shoulder. They didn't give the offside. Interesting. Maybe I was
fast for the linesman.
Oh, and it's Gent is the pronunciation, is it? Not Ghent? moved forward and kicked on by Barnsley as they work up through Humphreys, who's come back, but he gives it away to Palmer, who turns and goes the other way. Palmer, School, and Humphreys, the two old dogs running down the right wing together, holds up, has a look, maintains the ball. Barney's, where's you at to help? And Palmer says, I can do a Barney thing, crosses it, doesn't get there, and here comes the counter attack built up through Keeler Dunn. Interesting that Keeler Dunn playing forward, as I recall him being more in a midfield role who came up and filled the gap rather than being up there carrying. But it seems he comes back further for Barnsley than he did for Mansfield.
They send so many guys forward. I don't think it matters.
Yeah, that's fair. Cleworth. Up to Palmer. Palmer looking for an outlet.
Look at right now. They almost outnumber us, in our half there.
Yeah, not as aggressive a press, sort of a you do what you need to do to try to beat us, and we'll deal with it accordingly, just by overwhelming you and swarming you with numbers around the pitch rather than just a heavy press. So it's an interesting strategy and big bodies. Gent, switch on right side. Humphrey is not able to get there, and so it's left for Brunt, but the header doesn't go far enough, and it lands to the foot of Connell. Connell to the right-hand side. 30 yards out, looking for a cross with O'Keefe. O'Keefe leaves it to Jevigny, who's now moved all the way forward. And he gets it back to Roberts, and they're going to recycle through a switch into the middle of the pitch, knocked down, Dobson to his feet, and well taken, well done, and a cute little pass in front to Cleworth. And he feeds it forward, and there goes a fall. No foul given. They're yelling, but that was the right call. That's a second dive far post. McLean! No, couldn't get there in time. But Barney with it now. Gets it down. Lee on the right-hand side. He got a cross in him. He lays it back to Barney. No, he doesn't. He's going to keep it. There's the pass to Barney. Barney, same thing. Lee across over to Dobson. He tries to spin on his man, but can't get there, and it's lost. Couldn't get saved by Rathbone, and it's cleared back to Killip. Well done on the official not buying into the Earl nonsense. Earl turned around, and for the second time, remember just moments ago, he was running on attack, and he got grabbed a little bit by Dobson, went down really easy on contact, got the foul. Here he goes down real easy on soft contact again, and the official says, no, get up, play through it. Nice little pass that goes through there to Keeler Dunn, who's able to maintain possession around Matty James and over to the right-hand side. And that's going to be, excuse me, O'Connell again over the right-hand side. Keefe, that going for a corner? Yeah. Brunt blocked that almost immediately off the cross from O'Keefe over on the right-hand side. Some people screaming for a handball, and it looked like it was an awkward deflection. I don't know what it hit. It was very quick off of the foot. Foot hit a body out off of Brunt, and so it's going to be... Why is this...
Exeter scoring 2 goals on Wickham. It's a good sign.
I'll take it. I will take it. At home, Exeter doing the thing. And that Bolton-Mansfield game, do we want to draw on that one? Do we care? Do we want Bolton to win and get back into it? I don't even know. The big game tomorrow, Birmingham and Stockport County. Here comes left-footed in-swinger from Connell. It's short post, dangerous, and it was there. It was there for Russell, who was running forward. He got his head to it, but instead pushed it to the right. Whoo. Oh. Just as we were talking, you cursed it. You jinxed it, Brendan. Wickham scores now 2-1.
Yeah.
Appreciate the updates. As Leighton Orient goes up 2-0 in a battle near the bottom. Yeah, lots of games tomorrow. Birmingham, Stockport County, Peterborough and Burton, and Shrewsbury and Blackpool. Howard gets us back underway up to...
Oh, my goodness. Come on.
Push in the back from Roberts on Lee. Roberts doing the apology, taken quickly, and the official blows it back down. I hate that call. If we want to take it quick and the ball is there and we're at the spot, then let it go. Yeah, right shoulder charge from Roberts into Lee.
So all these are direct. These are direct, right? Like they can go for goal. When is it an indirect, and how do we know?
You know, because the official will hold his hand straight up vertically as he's running towards the ball, that it's got to be an indirect free kick. And if you have
the hand up, is it? Okay.
It's the hand up as you're watching the official running forward. There's a whole bunch of circumstances. To be fair, I'm going to have to pull the rules to go through all the circumstances when it's an indirect free kick. But I do know Broadcasting School 101. No, I didn't go. That's a nice little entry. Tried to get it over to EOC on the other side, but it's headed out, and we're going to get a throw in on the left-hand side. I do know from other matches that I was watching, there's a referee on Instagram who gives sort of what you can see the official doing and what that symbol means. And I watched that just so that I could get a better understanding of what was going on if I didn't have audio or those sorts of things. So I know that one. Anyways. See, I take this thing seriously. I try not to. It's going to be a mad December, though, isn't it? 4 games there at the end of the month. A whole bunch of games going on here. Oof. Burton playing tomorrow, so they're going to have less recovery time for their game Saturday against us, who we play on Saturday. So that's potentially
John's going to get his workout. He doesn't have to worry about putting on holiday 15.
Yeah, no kidding. And I guess that means, is Liam Hall with the club still, or is he on loan? Are we doing a recall? Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what all happens here. Battle through the midfield, and James McLean gets it under control, and they squeeze it out to a switch on the right-hand side through Barney. Well done as the Gleason Holmes advertisement hops up on the screen from Barnsley.
Look, I know we don't even want to talk about it, and talking about it is potentially cursing us, so I just knocked wood.
That's not offside. That wasn't offside. He curled that beautifully. I was going to give him credit. I didn't think that the ball was going to get to him. I thought it was too far, but that wasn't offside. That was. Let's watch that again. He's on. There's
No, he's
off. I thought he held it up enough. All right, I take it back. Eat it. Sorry, I cut you off there in my excitement.
No, that's okay. I was going to say if we lost Chomp and you had to convert any player on the team to a temporary goalie, temporary keeper, position player, who would get the nod?
I'm sure there's got to be somebody who played.
Yeah, I'm asking you, who do you think would be there?
James McLean. He's the most fit, and he's got the right mentality for it. That would be my option.
I was wondering if someone like Cleworth, athletic, long.
Let's put that one out there. Oh, thanks.
Yeah, I think that would be a good poll. Who would be the best position player converted to keeper?
There you go. Say hi to everybody.
Hi.
There you go. You gotta go get Mama to fix it, okay?
Look.
Yeah, go get Mama fix
Thomas
it.
the tank engine. He's a useful engine.
I can't fix it. Sorry, you gotta go give it to Mama. All right. I'm gonna make that a poll. As far as Mansfield up 1-0 there. Thanks W&G on that one. I'm gonna make that a poll. Start a poll of the Wrexham got triggered. Outfield players, who would be the goalkeeper if needed? And I've got Palmer was a nominee, McLean was a nominee. Hi, buddy. Hi, little man. The next generation of the Red Hornet, my mini-me. He is mine. The eldest is Mum. And it's crazy how that happened. Everybody thinks they're twins, but at the same time, when you see him, Walter is me. And the eldest, certainly Mum. Who else are the nominees for potential goalkeepers? Palmer, McLean. You said Cleworth?
Yeah.
And do we put, I don't think O'Connell's an option. Brunt? I think you want the height. I think you want somebody who's comfortable in the back line defensively. So let's put Brunt in there as the other option, and we'll hit the start poll and see what everybody says on that.
Carr looks like a keeper.
So free kick here, going to be a right footer into the box from about 20 yards away, right nested up against the goal line in front of the away's end, or the away fans. And Barnsley, it's put up there. Good, well done. Brunt able to climb the ladder and get there above Phillips, and it goes the other way before Russell commits a foul, pulls him down, and we'll get a free kick and get it started the other way. Good stuff. Again, and to Mark's point, if you're listening, saying that's the second time where we've had a break that was pulled down by a professional foul. At some point, those have to turn yellow. to get that away. 5 shots to 3 so far. I didn't even actually, Gail, Brendan, did you see what happened to Burton? I know, we know it's hamstring, thigh, groin, potentially, that area of the right.
It looked like it happened when he made a quick move to his right on a shot that wasn't close to going in. And he immediately, you saw his face wince, and he went down, putting his hand up. So
yeah. So that happened 10 minutes ago now, 23rd minute. So it's been 13 minutes, and the game's been, it was breathless to start as here we go, pushing all the way forward comes Rathbone. He's got McLean. You know he's going to go to him, and he overlaps him, and McLean now, here comes service, far post, looking for Barney. And Barney missed I thought for sure that was going to get knocked away by the defender, but it doesn't. That wasn't the regular defender. That was Keeler Dunn all the way back, who missed that header, and Barney didn't get a chance to play it. Matty James saves it. EOC dumps it forward, far side, trying to get to Barney. Hits the defender in the back. Gent. It's scrambly. It's going to be taking advantage, and it just goes out. Yeah, throw in.
Ooh, that was so close. Come on.
Close. I actually, if you go with the circumference of the ball, I think
it looked like it was still over the line. Yeah.
Sarah's going to go watch Blackpool and Wrexham, Wrexham in Blackpool on Boxing Day. Envious. You'll have to take some pictures. We got to get the Discord up just for that. Get more people using the Discord. We'll find that link in the half. Make sure everybody finds it. If you're on Discord, search it. That way we can grab your pictures and throw them up. Grab your videos and throw them up, and we can do all of that while we're watching here.
It could be outside the stadium going in. It could be waiting in line for a beer, whatever.
Well done by O'Connell there, framing everything off and then banging the ball off of the attacking Barnsley player, and it just goes harmlessly for a goal kick. This is one of those things when you get a keeper in, and you find that there's an immediate pickup defensively, and I think that's the case. I think the Wrexham players are a little bit more attentive to the details and trying to stop things as Palmer scoops that up to Lee. Lee knocks it back. Rathbone tries to get it over to James McLean and can't. But he saves it back. Well done by Rathbone, staying with it, and he gets it up to Palmer, and here we go with 4 jerseys over on the left-hand side. Lee with the ball at foot. I held up and drew it back. I thought with the numbers over there, and Lee gets pushed in the back and does a little bit of a exclamation mark flop. But no call given, and Cleworth now over on the right-hand side. Keeler Dunn running out on him. Finds Barney. Barney's running the wrong way. Does he turn it? Maintains the ball. 2 men on him, still with it at his feet. Finds the outlet with Cleworth, who scoops it up over top. Dobson into a battle. That's a fair battle. You bet. Let that go, official. And it's scrambled and turned the other way as Russell comes back and dispossesses the ball. We are on Discord. We haven't really been pushing it, but it's to the point now where we've got enough going on in the background that it's just an added feature. Connell looks good for them. Yes, he does. Keeler Dunn is as expected. I haven't really called Humphrey's number, and in fact, 5.6. I think he's the lowest FOTMOB ranking on the for both teams on the pitch. He's the only player sub 6. Best player so far, it says for us, is O'Connell at 7.0, and the player with the lowest FOTMOB rating anyway so far, a 3-way tie: Palmer, Lee, and Barney. Nice little header down. Matty James scoops in. Kellep has to make the save. That was out of nowhere. 22 yards out. Lands on Matty James's foot, and that's the first time I've really seen a crack. He's got a bit of a cannon on him, and that was a screamer.
That's why I want him up front.
Whammo! And that was not an easy save. Good on Kellep getting up there. Remember what I said? He's probably going to have himself a
that was going to bend in.
That was earmarked. That was earmarked for the goal. That was a great save, and Rod 2 with it. That's the sound you need. Ooh. Right footer in swinger from Lee, close to net, headed up in the air, straight up. It's going to be there and go for another corner.
That would have been nice.
That was O'Keefe able to get that one.
Shot reminiscent of Barney earlier in the year.
Gail says, I'd be worried with McLean in the net. He'd get hit. He'd jump up and punch somebody. See, I think he'd embrace the contact. People would be setting him up, and another in swinger. It's near post. Kellep punches it.
He's doing that thing where the goalie wrecks
held up.
Can't
call that one, I guess, in the box. It's a little bit too soft with the contact, but here we go. It's down, and Dobson's with it. Gets it over to Lee. Scoops it over, and a player just fell down awkwardly and may have hurt himself for Barnsley. McLean, right side this time, gets it, cross, far post, Palmer! Up over top. Goal kick. Sniffing around. What I said, though, is with the possession, and somebody posted the stats that said it was 60-40. If I go up, it's 57-43 now. We got to capitalize on and be a little bit more efficient. But Palmer, that one was tough. He had to get up above de Givigny and get his head to it, and he did. Can't ask for much more on that attempt. Hey, RKO, welcome. Just stepping off work and G-Zone triggering things. Calling all reindeer, we needed some red nose magic. Let's hold off. Let's hold on that one, but if necessary. I was looking for toques that look like a dragon or look like a reindeer or something that could be ordered in bulk and embroidered, and it's all crocheted knitted stuff that I can't work with. So we'll still keep looking, but that might have to be a next Christmas type thing and set it up in time. But yeah, a goal or two would be nice. Aaron is a miscontrolled pass by O'Keefe on the right-hand side, an easy turnover.
By the way, Chomp kicking the ball downfield, he rarely sails it to the wrong spot or out of bounds. That's
Right.
Conk was 80% out of bounds or a miss kick. But Chomp is awesome at that.
And to your point, that was like right to Palmer,
Yeah.
and it ended up getting knocked out, and we gained possession on the.
That's the thing he excels most at is
Yeah.
his placement of those kicks.
He should have been a striker. Is there time to change your career now? Kluwer with it up to Barney as we're eking forward offside. Hit a deflection, probably. Oh, it dribbled out. I thought it was knocked out. I think it was going to be offside anyway. 44.5 to 55.5, and that's about where I'm at now. Yep. The API updates hitting everybody equally. Not a bad little part-time gig, eh? Going to games and being the person who's sitting there clicking what the possession is and all that sort of stuff. Red Horde Pash sewed on a knitted toque. I mean, I guess that's the substitute, but what I was really hoping was to find Rudolph or Dragon things and have that all set up.
Love seeing
We'll work on it.
Rathbone pressuring the ball that deep.
Long ball falls to Keeler Dunn after not being saved by Humphreys and moved over to him. It gets over to Gent on the left-hand side. He's got Barney marking him. Gent looking to his left, and he lays it up there, and it's to Connell, who moves it over to the right. Russell to Connell to Russell. Left-hand side, 30 yards out, 25 yards out. Switch. Earl, right-hand side. 9 yards out. McLean just steps up top. Well done, sir. Picked O'Keefe's apostle? Picks O'Keefe's pocket and pumps it down, gets deflected, and we'll get a throw in on the left-hand side.
It looks like you may have lost a few seconds, Sean. You might want to hit that live button on iFollow.
42:45, I can do that. Live. No, that's where I'm at. I'm at 42, 40, 58, 43 minutes right now with the scoreboard. I don't know if that's just a slow delay, but I hit the live button and it didn't inch me forward. Oh, the battle is on and it's going to fall to Palmer. Can he do something with it? Right foot. I got underneath it. Well done. He had to do it. He was onside and he had better pace than Roberts, was able to get in front and get the ball down with his chest to his right foot. And it was sort of a half volley, one bounce off the ground, and he ended up skying it up over top, but well done. Oh, and that was beating de Gevigny, not Roberts and Diada. Well done, though. Knocked it down with the shoulder, and he just got underneath it and scoofed it up. Picked up a couple of Wrexham AFC Advent calendars, and they're loving the UK chocolates. That's one of the things that the UK makes fun of North America for is how bad our chocolate is. And I have to admit, they're pretty spot on with it. I will say that I think Canadian chocolate is better than American chocolate bars, other than Paydays, which don't have chocolate. Well, can, but not the originals. Yeah. But when I go over there, I eat the worst, grubbiest chocolate bars they have, those twirls, and they're amazing to me. So yeah, it was worth a try doing the goal Wrexham. We'll see if it works anyways.
Well, we're getting really good numbers here today, considering it's a Tuesday and everyone's supposed to be working.
Nobody wants to work. That's the challenge. It's harder to wake up on a Saturday morning than it is.
Everyone has their phone on their lap or between their legs.
That's how it is.
Down. I'm typing and looking down.
That's a little off-putting, the thought of our faces being in people's laps.
Yeah, whatever you do, don't start humming.
45 minutes. I'm out of time on this one. 3 minutes with the Burton injury. We'll see. Yeah, dried and dusty. It's true, and I didn't think it was until I got over there. And quality street chocolates have become a staple for Christmas time in our house. And the Wrexham lager beer ad being displayed, rubbing it in for us poor Canadians who are still waiting to find out and test it with Clamato juice. Leyton Orient goes up 3-0, 8-3 there. No work for yeah. The UK resting at night and enjoying this one. The Wrexhamites are. And do you have the ticker going with the countries down below, Brendan?
Yeah, it's scrolling along.
Flakes are good, solid too. And there we go. Batty with a pass. He gets it and just lays it up nicely for Lee. Lee now just on the edge of the 18-yard box. Draws it back. Matty James, what do you got for your passes? He's going to take Cleworth. It's new. He spotted him, and you can trust him with it. So he gets it to Barney. Gent on them. Opportunity. Isolated. It wasn't Gent. Wow. Killip has to come out and then just lost it. And we were looking and poaching. And Killip turns it fast. And here comes the counterattack. Humphreys on with EOC to the rest of our back line. And EOC, well done, sir. Had my first quality street chocolate in 1965. It's quality street. And you can get them over in Canada. I'm assuming you can get them in the US. But if you haven't had the chance, they're worth having. There's after eights and toffee fees and all those sorts of things. It's a higher level. It's a higher quality. Christmas chocolates. The chat is on fire today. A toque is a wool hat. Beanie is a wool hat.
Anything's better than talking about that damn drink of yours.
Trouble.
At least we're talking about nice tasting chocolate.
The Clamato is tasty. It is. And to be fair, most don't put it in beer. They put it in Bloody Marys and sub it out for the tomato juice. But anyways, my 11-month-old is taking a break from Miss Rachel so he can watch the Red Horde. That's awesome. Hey, Mike's we won. What doing? I haven't had to use my baby voice in a while. My kids are 5 and 3. Where's the hall? Which hall are we speaking of?
The goalie hall.
Liam Hall? And was he on loan?
Yeah. I thought it was like a National League East team or something, right?
North-South is how they go. But yes,
North-South,
Lee has been a vacuum today more than most times, I think. And yeah, I still can't do it. I've tried both the Terry's orange chocolates in both places. Orange and chocolate don't work for me. And it was the same when I was in New Zealand and you do Jaffas, which everyone's like, Jaffas are the greatest thing ever. And I was like, I don't get it. I don't understand. And there's the whistle for the halftime. I'm going to have to go downstairs and chat with our contractor who's finishing off some stuff downstairs. And before I do that, I just wanted to see where Liam Hall is at. Come on, Control F. So I'll let you take him through the scores. He's with, he came in from Bradford Park Avenue. Was that last year? 2024-25. He's new contract, transfers, loaned out. No, it says he's still with the club. Loaned out. Luke McNicholas went out. And he's with Rochdale. It's Jordan Davies, Bickerstaff, Waters, and Dolly. So that'll be interesting. After 8, there's nothing better. I'm going to just take a moment, run downstairs, talk to the contractor. Brendan, you can take them through the man, you guys are making me hungry. I got to find some chocolates while I'm downstairs. I'll let you do your thing and take them through the scores and the stats, and I'll be right back.
Sounds good. Yeah, we won the tackles. They won the interceptions, blocks. Was kind of I'm just looking at what they're flashing up on iFollow right now. Passing accuracy close to 70%. Barnsley was a little better. They had more fouls committed. No yellows, no reds on those statistics. I think I'm going to switch to the League One stats here. Sorry, the FOTMob stats. see how everyone else is doing. So Wickham's down 2-1. The next closest team that's, has the potential to score 3 points is Mansfield. That looks good. Bolton, obviously losing to Mansfield 1-0. There's the Exeter up and Charlton's down. Yeah, good stuff in the, if we can somehow get something on the board and get 3 points here, put us in a good position. We're a game up on Wickham, so they're up 3 points with the game. This is showing up to the minute stuff, so we're getting 1 point. So we would get 2 more, so it would be 38-37 with them having a game in hand. But as many points as possible going down the stretch here. We move over and pull up just the Wrexham highlights here. So ball possession, 45% for us. Not bad. Expected goals, our classic 0.1 something. That is heinous. Total shots, we had 6. 2 shots on target. They had none. That's very good, though. Eckert passing okay. Fouls, corners, we had 3. They have all the expected goals, strangely, even though they have nothing on target. They have all the passing stats. Yeah. Fairly even game. They've had the ball more in our box. I thought we came on towards the end of the second half, looked far more dangerous, had multiple chances. I think we definitely had the better chances, that's for sure. Who are they saying is playing very well? O'Connell's looking really good for us, 7.3. Their Connell is 7.0, and nothing else really sticking out. Going back to the table, yeah, it's looking good. Switch back to that. Sean's off enjoying himself. Let's see what you guys are chatting about here. Birmingham has 3 games in hand. Yeah, they're going to go flying past us at some point. Showing the highlights here, some of our opportunities and theirs. What do you guys think? Who are the subs you'd bring in right now? Do you think? Do you pull Lee for Foul or Mullen, or do you never see? It's interesting because they have 3 forwards on the bench, right? They have Fletcher, who typically fills in for Palmer just because he doesn't run around as much, say, as Mullen. And then the question is how you consider Fall. Do you consider him to be a replacement for Palmer or someone who can fill in the Mullen position, right? Curious to see what everyone else thinks on that. I'm also seeing highlights from the Wickham game. Handball. Yeah. Exeter dragged it in. It was definitely a handball anyway on in the Exeter Wickham game, their first score. They let it go in. They should have probably blown the whistle. Did a penalty kick. And then Exeter on a corner play got a nice header. Wow, bounced down onto the ground, then bounced up to the roof of the crossbar, and then someone kicked it in. Two of the most interesting goals I've seen in a while from Exeter Wickham. Yeah, they leave that I think that Barnsley are ripe to be scored on. they seem to be more forward focused, right? They have all their guys moving forward. They do come flying back, but they're willing to leave 3 back there. And I don't know that that's a bad idea against the squad we're rolling out right now, right? We don't push that many guys forward. If your midfield can get back and get active, get in the mix, Palmer and Lee all by themselves against 3 defenders and a keeper is not scaring anyone. Well, McElhaney is streaming and he's showing the big screen in LA. They just had that on Paramount. McElhaney was showing everyone what it was like to be at the game there. That's pretty darn expensive, though. Spend close to $40 to get in there although I guess it's stadium seating, you have to pay for it, and they can't overwhelm the place with people, right? So, John, he does not do that unless someone's injured. We haven't seen him do anything before 65. And it's usually sometime after that, between 65 and 70, right? That's when he starts making his changes. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if Fletcher is healthy, bring him in for Palmer at some point. I don't know if Fletcher would have been fast enough to get to that ball that Palmer did, but he certainly wouldn't have looked as awkward as Palmer did skying that out of bounds. Fletcher is just quality on the ball. He just doesn't have the wheels to run nonstop. Yeah, I agree, Gail. Hopefully he does sub a lot earlier today. I wonder if he'll decide to go for it, and then he'll bring in 3 forwards to sub. At that point, if you bring off Lee and Palmer, who else do you take out? I don't know if they think whether or not James can last the whole time. If you're keeping him back on defense, it's not helping your offense. So I guess he might be one of the guys that you would pull, and then you'd shift Dobson back. But if James has his legs and he can go the whole game, I would rather him in move forward. Maybe you give Rathbone a break, pull Rathbone. And was Cannon on our bench? Cannon is on the bench. You could consider bringing Cannon in for Rathbone too. Seeing what everyone's saying in the chat here. Yeah, I'd love to see him tell Palmer to go all out for the first 15 minutes and then substitute at like 60. Love to see that. Get some fresh legs in there. Try to make something happen. How do you guys feel about Chomp? I am a huge fan. I don't know if you guys are really worried at the moment. If you think we're in trouble going down this stretch of games until our number 1 or number 2 goalies come back. Based on the talent level that we're supposed to be facing, I think he's more than capable of handling it. Not that he will make every incredibly difficult save to make, but I don't think he's likely to make a lot of mistakes in letting in easy stuff. So again, I didn't want to jinx him, but I'm a fan of his. Let's see what else is going on. They're just doing crowd shots right now. majority of people in Wales and England all wearing their mandatory black jacket. Oh, they found some fans who don't have black jackets on. Last 5 games have a single goal by a striker. That was some cross Palmer said. We had some opportunities there. I feel like the last game that we played, we felt lucky that they didn't score goals, that they blew chances early where goals should have been scored against us by Lincoln. And we felt just ecstatic for it to still be, scoreless. And here I feel like maybe we should have had one. Maybe we should be up 1-0 right now. The blue and red jacket people are the fancy people, yeah. Yeah, it's a stupid criticism by me, but it just seems like it just always amazes me how many people are in the plain black jacket. It all looks very similar. I'm not used to seeing that in the US. I mean, anytime I go anywhere, everyone has a totally different style of jacket and type and color and pattern. And so, I don't think Palmer needs to be pulled off because he's not getting the job done. I just mean at some point you want someone to come in that gives them a different look and maybe can go to another level speed wise, right? And is willing to take the shot from deep, has a little more quality on the ball. That's just not his thing. So, Fletcher on set pieces and stuff like that would be really good. And Palmer running around trying to get to find an opening there wouldn't be bad either. Although, again, I wouldn't mind seeing Fall. So. Yeah, Rod, I don't know. I mean, I'd love to check out one of those places. It looks like it would be a good time. Nice, comfortable seat, extremely large television, making you feel like you're right at the game. I wonder how many angles they have. It looks like they have at least one angle from directly behind the goal that they have that fisheye lens showing it. I don't know if any of you guys in chat can let me know. Is there other angles that they show during the game? Do they ever come to the sides and show these overhead views, or is it mostly from one goal that they show? And then I would wonder if they have one from each goal, so as it's coming down at the goal, no matter which way it's going, they switch the cameras. Yeah, I don't necessarily think he's going to bring in Fall at all. I just said, if he decided to, I wouldn't do that.
Hey-o.
He is back just in time.
Holy cow. I'll get you started. It's that beautiful time of renovations and construction when everything's sort of wrapping up and you're going through like, hey, there's a problem here, there's a problem there, there's a problem here. And they're trying to get out the door and we're trying to be like, no, wait. We got to fix this, got to fix that. So everything's going good stuff. Rotherham goes up 1-0 on Lincoln. I think that's probably the result I want. And so we'll get this thing started. I'm going to do a refresh here in a moment. Still sitting 0-0. It was an eventful half. There was opportunities both ways. But yeah, I'm back. We're underway, and I'm up live. So hopefully that's on with the Paramount crew. And I love that comment about the Cossum, everybody looking miserable. Lee got slid into and knocked out. And we're going to get a free kick as he gets pushed into the advertising hoarding.
Yeah, he kicked him in the back of the calf. What the hell?
Ooh, stabbed in the back. Yo.
This guy does not have any cards in his
No,
mouth.
he didn't even bring them. Didn't even bring them today.
Not even considering it. He doesn't know if he does have them with him, what pocket it's in. Doesn't know anything.
So yeah, we'll have to see how the subs end up going. I'm sure you were talking about that one throughout.
Not like Lee's service. Hopefully this one's good.
Right footer from just right in line with the edge of the 18-yard box over near the goal line. So 18 yards out.
Why isn't this Barney?
Half a yard in? I don't know. Because that's
Why
his position.
Is that
he
not Barney? It's a right-footed in-swinger.
Behind everybody and kind of scooped up into the air by Connell. And whoa, it landed to Brunt, and I took a swing at it and missed it, went over top of it, and it was cleared up out and away. And Humphreys has it now, and he's turning, and he gets stepped in front of, but he keeps it now 3-on-1, 3-on-2, and bold move. Offside, no flag. EOC, you bold, brave, brash.
He just grabbed him with an arm. Definitely.
Oh, that's at least a yellow.
Jesus, you reached out and grabbed the guy.
He's like, that's not a foul. That's not a foul, man. Snuffed the break and finally gets hauled.
The referee's like, I hate yellow cards.
Yeah, I'm allergic to these, but this is something I have to do. Man, that tackle by EOC, you've got Humphreys coming in on you, it's a 3-on-1, and you got everybody screaming back. I'm thinking in my head, just hold him up, slow him down, hold him up, and instead he says, I got this ball. He just takes it off of him. Oh. Bold,
it's not a bad play. The guy had no room to run right or left around him. All he had to do was delay him, and everyone else would catch him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm with you.
If he had to slow up to get around O'Connell, everyone else would be there to help O'Connell out. So it was a great time to try to take it.
Lee! Oh, I was going to say, if that goes in, like, instantaneous to putting the hat on, we're going to end up wearing a toque the whole time. And yes, it's not the Rudolph hat. I actually don't even know where the Rudolph hat was. We got it for the kids thing, and now I don't have it in the room, and maybe this is all going to be my fault. Because this is the only toque I have in here, I think.
Chris
gifting the membership and letting and Chris, as a member, you got to do an exclamation mark Wrexham so you can hear the audio in the background and the trigger. And we're building something specific for those gifts for you, Chris. Rathbone able to nick that one back. Left-hand side, missed the pass, trying to get it to Palmer. Palmer just kind of claps his hand, and McLean whiffs, and it gets tackled out. We are defensively, this is maybe the most crisp we've looked. And maybe over all 3 seasons. Like, there's been a couple of gambles there. The EOC tackle obviously being first on the list, but there's been some tackles. I just like hearing the music in the background myself. Humphreys comes back and secures that one for Barnsley, and he's able to move it on over to Givigny, and it gets skiffed away, and Killip has to run out and play it, and he gets it forward to Earl. Earl knocks it off of Dobson, and it's going to be a throw-in. Official says, hey, move it back to where you had it. Yeesh.
Hey, Chris, it's funny that you showed up today. We were talking about all the special bells and whistles that we're trying to create. You didn't get to see some of the stuff, the automation we have going, but we planned on having Chris-specific automation, little things. So we'll have something. We'll have a surprise for you at some point.
Brunt with it, left-hand side. This has been, you know what, a solid match. This is 2 capable teams having a good crack at each other, right? And both playing their style. It's been effective by both. It just hasn't been a goal in the game. But this has been fun to watch. Quality.
Yeah. James is calling for the ball, and there's a guy within like 5 feet, and he's like, I'm still open. You don't understand. I'm comfortable with the ball. Give me it.
The Cyru women up 2-0. It's that Canadian coach. Canadian Welsh. She's got Welsh parents. The Tennessee Honey Whiskey's out for the second half. Good stuff. Hey, I'll take it any way it comes, W&G. Own goal. Shot from the moon. Chomp with a sky ball. that ends up bouncing once or twice and lands in. Hey, Julia, the whole gang's in today.
Their keeper's out too far and Chomp scores from a goal kick.
Yeah, I'll take. That's what I'll take.
Bounces in.
Matty James tries to clear, couldn't, ends up being scrambled and being held. And when the referee's going to let it play in that physical contact, that's exactly what you do is you grab his back and you play and you hold on and we turn the ball over as a consequence. And now Palmer trying to get it around Keeler Dunn. Does scoop up over the top. Lee onside, gets pushed in the box, but he's not going to give that. Not going to give that any day of the week. It's too close to the goal line, not a threat. Little bit of physical contact. And it looks like Connell's taking a knock. Is it Cumry? I thought it was Cumru. Cumry.
I want to say Kai, like Chimera, but it's
Cumry.
not. Yeah. It's
Cumry. We had somebody scream at it when we were at the Welsh Hall. We were like, what? Whoa, what's going on? What was that?
Yeah, I just thought he had a lot to drink.
That's what I thought. And he probably did. Well, I shouldn't say that. He was driving past us. Humphreys with it, trying to get it over to Keeler Dunn, couldn't do it. Wrexham adjusted their game a little bit. It's more physical on this one, and I'm a fan. As it falls to, and guess who? Whenever the ball is loose and it falls to the foot of a white jersey, it always seems to be Keeler Dunn who has it, maintains it, and gets it over to O'Keefe over on the right-hand side. Dugevigny comes up in support, passes it forward, and McLean comes and steals and intercepts that one. You think so, Gail? I just don't think the ref gives those ones where it's not a threat, but it's in the box, and they're just more likely to let it play because the consequential effect of turning that into a penalty and likely a goal from an inconsequential sort of bump in the corner of the box when there's nothing in it. I don't know. McLean gets it forward. Oh, nice little play there by Rathbone to be able to stab it back to McLean. It takes his time and gives it to Palmer to try to lead on and beat Roberts, but he can't, and Roberts scoops it back to Killip. I'm with you on the fall thing. Is Palmer's had himself a game, to be fair, but I like the idea of a little bit more pace in this one to try and pick him apart with the speedy legs. I'm jumping around. Am I? It seems when I'm watching, it seems to be the same pace for me. So that's interesting. Wickham coming back on Exeter 2-2. Find a goal here, lads. Find a goal. EOC, Rathbone, split it back, give it back to the goal scorer. Howard with it. Long ball down the pitch. Perfect to Palmer. Like, that's glorious to what you were saying in the first half as to how he needs to teach that skill to everybody and what he does because he picks everybody out.
Arthur spins the ball, so it's actually kind of hard to deal with on your first touch. Somehow he knuckleballs it to people.
Yeah. Nice little stab there by Barney getting that one into the box, but nobody else close enough to it. Have you ever
seen Chunk do warm-ups? He sits there and puts – he has specific – guys go and stand in specific spots, and he hits them on goal kicks and playouts from the back. He has guys at midfield and then further down out on the wings, and he hits the guy waiting to catch the ball every time.
Huh. It's an art. Julia full committed here. She's learning Welsh. Russell with it for Barnsley as they're pushing the ball forward, 35 yards out, still with the ball. They got James running with them, but he just lays off to O'Keefe. O'Keefe now with it, dances it back and decides to go with Dugevigny. Dugevigny back up. 25 yards out and towards Russell, misses him entirely. It was such a bad pass that Russell was like, oh, he must be intending to go past me, so he left it. And instead it just runs to Lee.
Our midfielders are all on top of each other there. Like, there's no breakout possible. They can all hold
too heavy. Long ball, trying to get there. But I think that's a byproduct.
Lee was almost shaking hands with Dobson and James. Like, I think it was forgetting he's supposed to be at forward here.
Coming back defensively. Yeah, I'm sorry, RKO. I don't know what's happening today. It's I'm not noticing a jump on my end. I've tried to advance it forward twice, but Brendan identified that I was falling behind. I'm at 55 minutes and 50 seconds right now.
You're only about 4 seconds behind now, 4 or 5. So
behind Paramount, so manageable maybe. That one's headed forward by Roberts, and here comes Barnsley again, building it up through Connell, up to the left-hand side. Barty there, box got it past him, but Brunt able to hammer that one away. Oh, it's put into the box, dangerous, and Rathbone coming, picks it off a Keeler Dunn. And can we get it going the other way? Trying to spin, trying to go. Russell ends up dispossessing Lee and takes a crack. Field goal, 3 points. RKO, I think actually the passing has been relatively solid all day. I can go through the stats to see whether I'm right or wrong in that assessment, just given my sense. But if I go to the stats and check the passing, well, I'm here 7 shots to 5. Barnsley hasn't had one on target, but we're 3 on target. Accurate passes 68% to 74%. So maybe you're right. I was wrong. I had the sense that the passing was actually pretty good today, but not there. With it, Palmer trying to nick one away, but it gets knocked back into the keeper's hands. Just the search is on. I think the subs are going to be the difference in this one. Possession 54% to 45%. Touches in the box, they're ahead of us, but not dominating. And they haven't had anything on target as of yet. Long may that continue. If we can compel that, we're guaranteed at least one. As Rathbone comes back, he's been poaching balls off of people's feet all over the pitch. Say that 3 times really fast. But that one from Chomp out of bounds goes too far over Barney.
hey, Dale, nice to see you.
I'm with you, Jake, as far as the assessment. 2 organized sides that just can't finish. O'Keefe with it. Gets it back to De Gevigny and all the way to Killip, and we'll wait. Whew. Wonder what that heart meter would look like. Tick, 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 tick. The expense, I don't know how you'd set that up with OBS either. Probably through a browser and it'd have to link over. It would be a fascinating thing to have.
What did I miss? What are they looking for?
No, Palmer's been actually really good. Oh, I was referencing the heartbeat meter because I was curious as to where my heart rate's actually at, and that's offside by a mile. It has been evenly matched. It's been a solid game. Both teams have been playing their style as far as Barnsley likes to throw lots of bodies forward and just sort of bully its way through into the box and find a scramble ball and score it. And we've been counterattacking as we would expect. Neither team's just been able to finish, but as far as this has been 2 heavyweights taking their swings at each other. So far, everything's missed. I guess we have 3 jabs, and so far they've whiffed on everything. Gent with Barney gets around him the cross, but that's a bad one. So it's just going to go for a goal kick. Nothing out of it coming up to the 60th minute. Oh. I'll give Parky a 5 if he puts subs fall included on at the 60th minute. See, the thing is I think we want to do moderate changes. It's kind of one of those instances where having to sub out Burton earlier in the match hurts us because we're going to have to bulk the changes. But like, I can't complain about this. This isn't like Link Exeter City where you were like, do a thing. This they've been doing things. I'm far more comfortable with the performance here, even though we haven't got any goals.
Yeah. You could potentially go Cannon and a couple of forwards.
You could, but Rathbone and Dobson and James have been really solid in the midfield, was my sense. Like, to me, it's a striker change. And we don't have TOC, which is fascinating to me that he didn't make the bench.
I agree with you. All 3 midfielders have played well. They're just never threatening other than the James play, and they have him too far back.
And if Fletcher is healthy, I like his quality. I would actually take him over Fall.
Well, don't you think it would have been a different result than that one that Palmer sliced through and had the ball and then skied it? Fletcher with that ball, totally different story, I think.
Yeah, I can imagine that. That's true. I don't know how healthy he is, whether he's like an 83rd minute sort of come in for the last 7 and we'll see where it's at. But yeah, with him
that's the case, why would you have him on the bench and not had Bodvarsson unless he's hurt?
Have a good night, Mike. I'm down to South SA, 11 p.m. It's starting to fade. Been there before. If you need to, Mike, I can just randomly scream loud obscenities or whatever and hope to wake you up. Sliced by Roberts, but nobody there. That was fascinating. He went the whole length of the field, and Rathbone
look at Rathbone just killing himself to make something happen.
And he does. He forces a turnover, and De Gevigny is saying, "What about a foul?" But they've been letting that go the whole game. So if the ref set the standard, as long as the standard holds, play to the standard. And I think Wrexham, the second half, has done a better job of adjusting to the standard that the official has set. Reading, that's unfortunate. Finds a goal and goes 1-0 up on Cambridge. It would have been nice if they would have lost points on this one. Still time yet, Cambridge. Still time yet. Cambridge has been doing a lot better. Unfortunately for us, that's what
right on
against us. But Palmer takes it off from Howard and the service to him. Rathbone grabs it, pulls it back to James. James switch over to Cleworth. Cleworth is there. Barney on his right. Instead, he tries to stab it forward to Rathbone, and there's the physical play the other way.
Barney, come on.
And then EOC, this is another one where he's just poached another ball. EOC looking forward. Rathbone gets it down to Elliott Lee. 20 yards out. Over to McLean. McLean service. And missed everybody. 3 jerseys. All like 6 yards away, 8 yards away. And the ball went 9 yards. So they've all missed them by a yard. And so we're going to throw in here 20 yards away with James McLean. The push is on. Yeah, and I'm okay. I like that standard. I don't care if it's even a guy who's going to blow down the whistle a lot. I don't like it because of all the stops and starts as Cleworth pushes that one too far forward, but it skews to Barney, then comes back to Cleworth. Opportunity in the box. Stopped. Bullet saved by Killip. And it's going to be a corner.
Here's a play. Come on. Pull out a different play out of your playbook here.
Did Cleworth have somebody? Because the angle was so fine on that one. He did. He had McLean. It was screaming at him. Watch where McLean is, because that kick you got to be really precise with. And he had McLean. It was onside.
It might have been hard to see. The defender yeah.
I get it. I'm playing FA here. Corner, useless, wasted corner. But Barney's able to scoop it up and send it back in the box, and it's bouncing around. Matty James gets it wide to McLean. Palmer says, "Give it to me here," but he can't. Lee! Oh! Throwing that one in. Just you can see that as an opportunity. The screamer, and Killip has to get up there and save that one. You thought that one. I thought that had that pegged for the corner. No, just got the toes on it. And you can see all the stands rising for that one. Yeah. Lee cuddled up against the post. Intimate moments. And here comes the right-footed in-swinger from McLean. Middle of this. There. Oh. Killip got his hand on that one. Roberts was up there defensively. Palmer trying to sky for it, and it's back to Lee. Keep the pressure on Rathbone now, trying to get the chase on, and it's going to go for a goal kick. Woo! It's been pressure.
I like the pressure, but they expended a lot of energy there. You know.
Killip and his 57.5% save percentage having himself a game. Charlton, W&G, what's with everybody who we were hoping for lose dropping points? Coming back. Huddersfield goes up 1-0 on Wigan. There's another one. It's getting to be one of those games where you really, really, really want to get 3 points. Humphreys, and well done by Cleworth, just steps in front and blocks that one. Throw in, tried to get the flop there. Did Gent goes to ground, nothing given.
He's trying some cheeky shit. Like, just, you're not getting that.
Rod with the appropriate language that we'll leave to PG-13 for PG-13 reasons. Rod, that's my take. I think, Brendan, you think Mullen and Fall. To me, the question is how healthy is Fletcher? But the way I look at it is you don't put him on the bench unless you're ready to play him. So Humphrey's coming out. And how am I pronouncing that? Is it J-Lo? Do I have to start singing
Jello?
Call him Jello? The first opportunity for J-Lo to be able to get it. And he doesn't. And stabbed forward. And here comes Matty James back defensively to sky that lifted over his head to Lee. Lee tried to head it back, but he missed the header, and it goes to Keeler Dunn.
We could call him Jenny from the block.
We could call him Jenny from the block. Humphreys. To O'Keefe. To DeJevigny. Russell. Midfield stripe. The halfway line. And it's pushed forward, and Jello is how their Mark's pronouncing it, so I'll go with Jello. Jello gets it as McLean loses it. Brunt is out there defensively to take it. Is swept out and put forward, and Howard, first save of the game. Gets down, gets low, knocks it down, skips off his hand a little bit, but he quickly recovers and grabs it, and let's go.
Those are sometimes the ones that Arthur doesn't field, and it bounces out to someone, and then it's
it's dangerous because it's skiffing and spinning to the right off the turf, right? But able to just stab the right hand out on it and knock it down, and we're at 67 minutes and 15 seconds as Russell secures it back to DeJevigny, and Barnsley eats up a little bit more possession.
The momentum switched here. We gotta make something happen. Get a sub in.
Jello, were you not watching the game, my friend? You come in as a sub, you have to know what the standard was set. Just flopping like that ain't going to get it done. I will take it any way it comes, Gail. You're exactly right. Doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to cross the line. Hell, I'll give it if the official gives it, even if it doesn't cross the line. Oh, too much grabby. What? Too much grabby. Connell goes down. Dobson says, hey, you haven't been calling that the whole game. Subs. I see two coming in. Fletcher and Mullen. Palmer, you know what? He had himself a game. Credit to him. And I've said he hasn't been a werewolf this year. Last year, if you remember, Palmer showed up once when the moon was full. It hasn't been the case this year. He's been solid. But bring it in, Fletcher. He's got to be chomping at the bit. Mullen going to be taken in for Lee. Yeah. He's had himself a solid game as well.
Rod apparently has a hotline to Parky. He said, I want Mullen and Fletcher, and then poof. This would have been my pair to bring in too. The two of them work pretty well together. So
let's hear it for an ugly goal.
Plus, there's no way Mullen yells at Fletcher for doing something wrong, so he's just going to be focused on playing.
Yeah. Chomp with it, looking, searching, decides just to roll it forward to Cleworth. Cleworth searching. He's going to play it back. EOC. The press is on. Keller Dunn scoops it forward, and they knock it out of bounds, and we'll get a throw in 25 yards away from the goal line. Fletcher and Mullen bagging the cobwebs off. Yeah, he was. I noticed that too. RKO. He was going off with a little bit of a limp. Thrown forward, Fletcher flicks it on, but Mullen not able to get there, and it's going to go back, and Mullen puts the effort in trying to get it from Killip, who clears it well past the line up towards Keller Dunn. Cleworth knocks it forward. Well done, Dobson. No fear. Players around, and he lost it on the pass back, and Jello's able to get there. Danger, man out. We got to get over Jello there. Danced him. Oh, great save, Chomp. Whoo, baby. Nice. As far as a recovery goes, I'm not going to say it was the best, but it was at least effective enough that it was one that Jello only had limited options as to where he could put it. A right footer threw the ball as Brunt sort of framed him up, and he beat him. And then the right foot stab as Brent was able to take away the left part of the net recovery after he got danced to the one side. Oh. Corner then. Lots of big bodies in the net, in front of the net for Barnsley. We know that. Left-footed in-swinger coming. trying to see who's taking that. Connell, left-footed in swinger, jerseys everywhere. Find the ball, boys. Well done, Fletcher. Cagey veteran in the position. Mullen now trying to relieve it, and he does.
Yeah, I really like.
Holy!
Wow.
Mullen actually drew a foul.
Oh.
You know what it was? It was the continued pressure there. He's putting it around my throat. O'Keefe just keeps returning, so you got to push him away.
No, he was holding McLean the whole time. If he gives,
it'll just be a yellow card.
Trouble. That's McLean at suspension.
2 Irish lads. So yellow card for O'Keefe on the tackle. Then he gets the ball away and he keeps running with it, clears it away, and McLean snaps in front. And then he whispers and taps him on the hat. And they're having a smile here. Oh, and then he milked it. That's brilliant. They're having a laugh, those guys. Bolton gets one up, one all in that one. I'll take that. I'll take a draw in the Bolton-Mansfield one. Don't need anybody getting into the top, and they're still having a chat. I thought that started as a chit chat, sort of, hey, long time no see, and they're still having word. Well, okay, now it's with Phillips and not with O'Keefe. Chomp service looking for Fletcher at the far post. He's got being held down, but it comes free to Barnsley. We should have a body come forward for that one. And it's Brunt who goes, and all he can do is sky it, and Fletcher saves it down, knocks it back to Brunt, and here we go. A little bit of possession, left-hand side. Brunt looking, chip up over top, way too much on that one. Nothing there, right? Let's not even talk about it. I'm going to get all emotional when McLean gets to retirement time. Is he ever going to leave this club, though? Do you see him as being somebody who's going to linger around? Who else to lead your academy but James McLean, right? Give him a job. McLean, left footer, skies it to Fletcher. Fletcher wrestling, well done. Fight through it, but I know all that outworked Earl, knocks the ball down in the first touch when he's got possession's a little heavy and he has to go and save it. It rolls free and clear, and here we go. 73rd minute Velcro chest. Mark Griffiths just called Fletcher offside given. Is that what they gave? Interesting. Well, Reading's starting to set themselves up for the 3 points on that one. I'd rather they didn't. Nil. Huddersfield's getting 3 points. Reading's getting 3 points. There's 3 games tomorrow. Let's find something late here. It's been a while since we've had a little Wrexham magic. Oh, did we just pick up a yellow? On Mullen? Did I miss? Drive forward anyway. I'll come back and revisit that. And there's the flop on the push. And yellow card. Really? Dangerous one, this one, because it's 21, 22 yards out. That's what it was. That's 5 yellows. So Free Canadians a little ahead of us. But yes, that's a suspension for the next game.
Oh, that's a awful call.
Yeah, it was compared to the standard. 5 men in the wall. The immediate concern is this is a dangerous area. It's far enough down that you can bend and curl this if you want to. So they've got 5, 6 in the wall. And I think they're too close to the ref. Oh, here comes the big body. The American, Mr. Pines. Not today, sir. Not today. Yeah, this is a shot on goal. Mark called that. Bringing the big body. It's not going to be on. Did McLean pick up a yellow as well? Oh, yeah. So McLean and Dobson are both suspended for the next one. All right.
Better turn this into a W so it's worth it, right?
Yeah. O'Connell, or sorry, not O'Connell. Connell with the left, Phillips with the right. Mark says it's usually Phillips that will take this. I would think you'd want the left footer, not the right footer on this one, but if you've got a guy who does this and has the magic, and the left footer, and it's bang right straight into the wall. Well done.
Yeah.
Hit ahead.
Seven was open on the wing. I surprised they didn't pass it to him.
Concussion protocol on this one. Welcome back, Fletcher.
Yeah.
Bolton up 2-1. Yeah, RKO, I'm exactly with you.
Tuesday.
I'm with you, RKO, on the week for the yellow based on how he's been calling the game, especially in that dangerous position. Here's the play. Oof. Right off the left cheek. Bang. You got all your teeth? Bolton lining themselves up for 3 points. Reading continues to just pour it on now. Yeah, Julie, an interesting one on that one. They got the planning permission, but obviously the 9 letters of complaint talking about the green belt. I haven't gone through the maps and all that sort of stuff. I was listening to Hansard yesterday because that whole football bill that the Labour Party's passed or is looking to pass, that's now with the House of Lords, was reading that because the elephant in the room on that one is you can't do too much, because if you do too much, you're going to handcuff yourself compared to what they're able to do in the other countries. If FIFA and UEFA aren't going to put in financial controls, with the government puts in a regulator and limit spending, it could have a detrimental effect on grassroots development in English football. So you want to preserve things for the purposes of the economy without completely crushing things. So Fletcher steps off, and I don't like this. You've done the concussion protocol. He should be able, if he's fine, to come right back in.
Well, it's just the whole physio thing, right? I'm sorry. If physio comes out, it's 30 seconds, right?
Hey, we'll take that update from you, Charlton. Down 2-1 to Crawley. Moderately helpful. Getting 3 points. The big question here is Donovan Pines has it and gets it over to Jevanier, and they're playing a little bit of catch back there. 6'5", Mr. Pines. Do they say that Pines can play as a wingback too? He's got that much pace? That's crazy. If you have that as a weapon, then how is he not on the bench? There's got to be some weakness in his game for him to be able to come in frequently from the subs bench. As Cleworth, Earl pushes it forward, and Dobson has it, keeps it in play, and goes forward and kicks it up again. Donovan Pines there to knock it down in front of Mullen. But they say it went out of bounds and we'll get a throw in. I missed how that went out, but I thought Dobson saved it. He did take one for the team. And to be fair, in most instances, if I had to choose a head that was going to get banged into from something that close, I'm taking the one up top. I don't want the groin shot. RKO, yeah, it could be. I don't know what the temperature is there either, right? Because that influences the throw in. No offsides on a throw in, and Mullen able to grab that one, lays it down to Barney. He's got Fletcher and McClay, and Fletcher. Oh, he could get it down, but not enough in it, and Pines just comes in, collects, and bumps it forward. And a potential break is we had Brunt come forward, but he gets back. Well done. Gets back, knocks it out, slows it down. Well done, Mr. Brunt. Humphrey's sitting on a FOTMOB rating of 5.2 before he was pulled by the coach for Jello. Not a performance for the ages, for sure, for a team that was looking to have him join them. Rotherham Lincoln, 1-1. Always said the Canadian managers were the way to go. Hey-oh! So I'm assuming they actually took that one down. Good for them. Climb the ladder. 10 minutes of extra time, or 10 minutes plus extra time left in this one. Brunt with it. Statistically, it's been a while since I think we've had a shot on target. Let's go to the stats. Yeah, 5 shots on target, 9 total shots there, 10 and 2.
Hell of a push there, they didn't call.
Matty James going to try and get the switch on. Scoops it over to Barney. He's got Kluworth as an outlet. He goes forward to Dobson. Dobson tries to get it back to Barney to run onto it, but he's not able to do it, and it's cleared forward and out. So we'll get a throw in here. Parkey grabbing it and quickly getting it underway, but not on, so we're held up. The official says, hey, back up. And we'll... Somebody go out and grab this one. Someone go out and grab it. The NIMBYs, not in my backyards. I was actually wondering if that was a term that was used in the UK, NIMBYs, because it's frequent in North America. Because they call it a garden. So would it be a NIMBYs?
There's actually 2 main reasons now that I think of it. There's 2 reasons why I always match.
We'll get a throw in over on the left-hand side. Mullen, effort, hard work. Getting a free possession. Brunt up to Matty James. He dances around Russell. Stabs it forward. Rathbone dancing. Going to go back to James? No, he draws it forward to Dobson. Dobson open. He falls. Fletcher. The back pass. Too far back. And Kluworth has to go and collect. As Bolton starting to go up big on Mansfield. 3-1 in a game that was fairly tight. Fletcher tries to floop it. Scoop, flip. Mullen still battling. Maintains possession, gets it through Pines' leg to Fletcher, leaves it for Mullen, and knocked down easy, and McLean's over on the left side saying, I was over here. But that's one that if you're Mullen, you've got to take that opportunity. I don't begrudge him for that. Scruff of the neck time. Pines a little soft considering how big he was there. He got bullied by Mullen. And Fletcher with a little flick back to him to give the opportunity, and just not enough of a thump on her. Right spot. Fletcher, the touch just not there. He complains that it was pulled too much, but instead it rolls to Kluworth, and Jello just flops.
Practicing his flopping, going around.
To be fair, that was a slip, I think. Nice little flick by Rathbone over to Fletcher, knocks it down, gets it to Dobson. Dobson up to Barney. Barney coming around now 40 yards out, nothing really there, so he's got to look for an outlet, and he finds it in Kluworth. Had the white jerseys closing in on him, and so just opted, let's take some possession here. But well done building up through the midfield on that one. Is a dangerous ball from Howard and gives it away. Russell gets it forward. Yeah. Phillips over to O'Keefe. And so fortunate there, but they maintained the possession that we had. We just gave away. 83rd minute, time is going tick, 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 tick. We do have backyards, but they're paved concrete and usually in terraced houses. So, Julia, do you call them NIMBYs? You were the one who called them NIMBYs, right? Mullen gets pulled down. We'll get a free kick out of that one, but no. Oh, it is a yellow card. Pines with a bad pass, and so the obvious foul on... Is that Keller Dunn who had to do the...
Connell
had to try and save it. 48, not 40.
Yeah, he fell on the back heel of Mullen, but he tackled him.
Well, to be fair, I was critical of Pines on the pass, but that was Connell who missed that.
Yeah,
he had the opportunity to get it drawn back.
Around the waist.
There we go. Des with the update. Mansfield had a man set off in the 70th minute, and that's why the game turned. And yep, still called NIMBYs. So Mullen is on the prowl today.
He's more dialed in. This looks like old Mullen.
It does look like old Mullen today. O'Connell looking, goes far to the right to Fletcher, who tries to get it forward to Kluworth and can't do it. So Fletcher's got to go out and save it as the stab's not going to go out of play. Keller Dunn hammers it, leaves it to Jello to go and chase it, and O'Connell just chips it back, and it'll be a throw-in for Barnsley left-hand side towards the halfway line. Whoa, they take it way up near the halfway line. Allowed to go, and O'Connell just wisely goes and grabs it, turns it the other way. And Matty James, bad pass, turns it, and then there's a trip, and that's going to be a card going the other way. Lots of stop the counter-attack by getting into a body.
Yeah, where's Rudolph?
I don't have Rudolph.
Phone a friend.
I was
Get Rudolph.
looking for it before. I have my son's ladybug costume. That ain't gonna work, and I'm plugged into the computer here. That was an oversight on my part because we went sledding. Yeah, John, I thought you said no cards. I was wrong. I feel like a baseball third base coach giving symbols here. These watch-alongs are starting to get to the point of how ridiculous am I going to look by the end of it. That's really what this is.
I'm all about that.
So, yeah, Brandon the fan. 35 yards out. Looks like they're going to slide this into the box as Pines over on the far post there with Fletcher on him. Far post, Pines is over there, but it ends up just being harmlessly knocked down, and the counter's on if we want it. I'm going to try and drive it forward to find too far for Rathbone. And not there. Oh, Killip gives it away.
I didn't think you could be offsides on a throw-in.
No, I think it's because there's an extra ball that was there, and he wanted it to be played. Oh, and because subs are coming in. Lofthouse. Whistle blew for the subs. We tried to play it quickly. Lofthouse in for O'Keefe. That's a defender, interestingly enough.
There's trying to stall and get the
maybe more of sliding in as a wing back, I guess, for O'Keefe. And to be fair, I wasn't impressed with O'Keefe today. I thought 6.4 on the FOT mob, but I thought he was a little bit start full close and take it off. Easy now. Easy. Nobody wants to see that. Yes, I mean, I don't want to say it. You're right. If you would have told me it'd be a draw, I probably would have been like, okay, I'll take that. But well done by Rathbone. Mullen grabs it, serves it, far post. Can we get there? No, it's knocked down Barney, but Fletcher steps in front. There it is. Oh, Fletcher, there's that magic. Chest down, left foot, just missed the far post. And that would have been a moment. That would have been a moment. Knocked down. Left thigh.
We don't have anybody else who can do that.
No, we don't have anybody else that can do that. Just header down.
He's a right-footed player. That was awesome to do, all left-footed, you know?
Yeah, and to be fair, Jake, identifying Barnsley, the second best road team in League One. 5-1-2, if I recall correctly. Rathbone Sarah. Thank you for the sponsorships. Earl, Chad, others benefiting from that one. Much appreciated.
Yeah, thank you very much, Sarah.
Rathbone, he's had himself a solid game. Moves it forward. Lots of space.
Get it over.
2-on-2. Heavy on the touch. Stepped in front of him, and it's going to go free.
You can't have him forward.
Uh-oh, now they're going the other way. 5-on-5. 5-on-6, 6-on-6 as Russell stumbles, but he's able to get it forward. Dobson's got to get there, and EOC has been having himself a game. That's like his fourth time where he's just stepped up and easily collected. And he tried to find, but Pines reads that one in front of Fletcher, and Fletcher comes back and takes off of him, gets pushed, and it'll be a foul going the other way. Quick free kick as Pines all the way forward, looking forward. Mullen fighting, keep working. Keep working, keep working. Don't turn. He's not giving it, so you just keep working until he has to. You keep working until he has to. I think he wasn't, to be fair, that play by Fletcher, closer than what Palmer delivered, just not quite there. If Fletcher had the cardio, I would take him over Palmer for 90.
Oh, yeah.
Cannon coming in as a late sub. Who's going to be coming off?
Rathbone, without a doubt.
Rathbone, you think?
Yeah. Yeah. Have you said his name in the last 20 minutes?
I actually was just about to say that I thought Rathbone was doing a good job, sort of like EOC at nicking things. I missed who that was that came on, but Rathbone's still on. Did he come on for Dobson? I don't see Dobson. So it's Rathbone, Matty James, and Cannon in the midfield. It's possession with Barnsley. 5 minutes of added time. Come on, lads. A little bit of magic here, please, as that gets out to the subs, but James able to take it away from Lofthouse. And Brunt spins and fires. And more possession for the bad guys. O'Connell with it, slides it over. Russell moves it forward, and well done. Nicked by Brunt, and he's looking up the pitch. We'll get a throw in. Well done. That was DeJevigny who pushes that out past the line. Cannon by name, cannon by nature. Stevenage 1-0 again. Oh, that's why Cannon hasn't come on yet. And it is for Dobson anyways. So I didn't see Dobson. Come on, lads. 5 added minutes. The pitch must be slick tonight. I didn't notice that the pitch was that slick, although I guess Jello falling down. Brett goes to Cleworth on the switch. Barney up there for it. He grabs it. Barney turned the wrong way, spins the right way, gets it forward. Cannon. He has it, turns it back all the way to Cleworth. All right, I'll take possession. It's better than the option, but I'd rather be closer to goal here as EOC just danced it around Cosgrove and continues to move forward. Moves it up to Rathbone. Well done. We've got some space. Rathbone all left foot and scores! Scores! Ollie Rathbone out of nowhere runs it the whole length and says, I'm 30 yards out. I'll take a shot and I'll plop it in the corner of the net. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Oh, baby. That was I was like, everybody kind of left him, and the defenders, the midfielders kind of laid off, and so he just kept running with the ball. The defenders don't come forward, so he's like, I'm close enough here. Hammers it forward. Get in! Ollie Rathbone magic. Who called that one? Nobody. But we'll take it. Holy jumping jeepers. Watch this. EOC, and now everybody lays off Rathbone. He just runs with it. Nobody steps forward, and 25 yards out, and he says, I'm going to call game. I'm calling game. Wow. And he's looking for options. There's no options. Okay, I'll beat you. What were you doing backing up? Why were you backing up the whole way? Take it. Take it if they give it to you. Serve it up on that Thanksgiving platter, and Rathbone eats. Rathbone. Oh, my. What was that about Rathbone, John says, Brendan? You got to call people out more often.
Yeah. John stepping in for Boston John and calling me out.
Houston John sending a message. Oh, glorious. Vince said last minute magic. They were right. There were so many woos in that one. Stay focused now, lads. Bring it on home. We're going to get to probably about 6 minutes now, because we had the sub.
Thanks,
EOC got to get a header away. Does over top of Cosgrove, who's looked piss poor, to be fair, coming in. Free kick is Fletcher Bowl. He's
by the way, you had pointed it out. O'Connell's ability to put the ball down and carry it out and make a good pass was the difference there.
I just didn't know EOC's been doing that all game long. And to me, even though Rathbone scored, to me it's a two-person battle for man of the match right at the moment. It's EOC and it's Rathbone. Come on, lads. Man, lots of time coming off the clock here as the referee's playing with the Cleworth. Keep pushing him. If he's going to push you, push him back. Have the referee step in. You bet. More time off. Dinked in, coming back. EOC there with another header and clear away. Mullen flips it forward. Barney on the chase. Barney, he bounces it forward. Cannon says, my turn for the effort. Get on. Trouble here. Left-hand side. Going to have a cross coming in. EOC's all the way out of position. Had to go fill that spot, and so Cleworth fills in for him, and well done. Barney digs it out and clears it out, and Pines knocks it down. Woo-wee. DeGevigny, right-hand side, advancing it forward. McLean tries to get in front of it. Cosgrove grabs it, right-hand side, crosses on, and we're going to get a corner here at the end of the game. Fletcher on Pines. That's the one that I'm worried about. Hey, hat and scarf was a good call. At the end of the day, I just have to get ridiculous. That's what it is.
Yeah, you're going to be sweating. We just keep
I am
sweating on you.
I am sweating. Connell, left footers. Are they bringing everybody up? Would Killip come up for this? Why not? I would, but they're not doing it. The time's running low. Left-footed in, swinger. Just need a clear, lads. Just need a clear. Oh, baby. Left foot. Here it comes. It's up. It's over. It's scooped up over top, climbing his back over top of Mullen, and we're going to get a free kick out of that one as Russell gets a little over exuberant on that one. We are the Red Army. Stand aside. The Reds are coming. Wrexham is the name. Woo! I don't know who got that header away. Flicked it up over top, and it was there for Mullen, and instead Russell just gets on top of Mullen's back, taking his time, looking for Chomp to score on a set piece. Well, I can't score. Get a set piece on here. I guess he could score. This is free kick.
There it is.
Left footer, blow the whistle. Yes! 3 points, baby. Put it on the board. That one goal, all we needed, whistle goes, 3 points on the board, and that was something. Go home happy, everybody, whether you're leaving from the race course, whether you're leaving from the Cosm in LA or Houston. Wrexham putting on a show. Hollywood Reds, up the town. That was massive. That was massive. And Sarah, I can't help it. I can't help it. Put it in my veins, this sort of stuff. I got to get back to work. I'm going to have to settle down at some point. We'll stay in briefly just to kind of go over the table, over all those sorts of things. Let my heart rate come down as I've got some pleadings to draft. But yeah, good stuff. Stay here for that. Yikes. Wickham and Exeter end up in a draw. Are we going to go through the scores first or just go straight to the table? What do you figure?
I went to the table. The table's up.
Okay, so I got to get to the table and see what ended up happening and clicking around. So, Wickham takes their points, so they're going to end up one game in hand and sitting at 39 points. We grab our 3, so that puts a little bit of more of a pad against Birmingham, who now have 3 games in hand. One of them against Stockport tomorrow. The advantage of that is number 3 playing number 5, and somebody's losing points. And we've got the McLean having a chat here with the official here. And he's talking. Oh, I think he's talking about being held and how that'll happen. So, Disney Plus crew filming on the field there. Yeah, you have to for that one. That's going to be. This one's in the documentary. Congratulations, Barnsley and Tykes. You've served one up for us. I think I might have to hit sponsor money by mistake, Sean. Not sure what I'm doing.
Slow dancing will be on it. It's also pretty good that they were all about it because they had to go all the way down to their 3rd string.
And let's not let that one slide. Is the combination 2nd string Burton, who did his stuff for the 23 minutes he was in before we went out with the hammy, and then Chomp comes in and really only called on for that one right save, I think. But the team snugged up defensively and dealt with it. But Wrexham, obviously, we were grabbing our 3 points as we kind of go through the table. It's still on the stream there. We're waiting, according to me, for the Huddersfield match to end. They've got Wigan Athletic, and it says to me they're in the 86th minute of their match. Birmingham, Stockport, 3 versus 5 tomorrow. That'll put Stockport on equal points with us. The best that they can get is 4 points back. Dare I say it? We cheer for a Stockport win?
Yeah, I mean,
like, you've got to get past Wickham or Birmingham if you want to get into the autos. And if it's going to be Birmingham that's going to end up losing here, and they've lost points in 3 of the last 5, do we hope that it's Stockport that goes to 18 matches played and is 4 points back of us? I think that's what I want. Oh, man of the match poll. I didn't do that. I mean, there's only 2 options for me, but I'll put them up there. Man of the match and the poll. Let's do that.
No, you can throw Chomp in there, right? So
okay, I can put Chomp in there. So alphabetical order for the man of the match. We've got Howard, Rathbone, and O'Connell. Start the poll there. That's the word on the street. See, and that's maybe another reason Northern Border is that is the word on the street that they're going to end up. I think they said Preston North End would be his destination. Aston Villa did in the championship, and so we'll take that if that's going to be the outcome. But the poll is up there for everybody to vote. They have to use the hat and scarf sparingly. Don't want them to use their potency. I got it. I'll keep the Rudolph. I'll make sure that one's available for the next match, and we'll see if it's just clothing that I have to get more and more dressed. I'm going to be wearing my winter coat here by the end of it and some snow pants. by the end of the season. Hopefully that doesn't have to happen in the summertime. I'll die. But some glorious stuff going on here. Going back to the table just to watch us through it. All good. I'm so scrambled and so excited that I can't even focus and just do what I was doing. I was looking at the League One table. Reading with a 3-0 beatdown on Cambridge United, which you expected them to take 3 points. And I keep asking the question, are they a thing? 17 matches, they've got a game in hand. They're sitting at the same spot as Stockport and Huddersfield right now. Like, that's legit. And Bolton goes up on Mansfield, so they've eked themselves into the same sort of – there's 4 teams that are sitting there, Stockport, Reading, Bolton, all 30 points, 17 matches in. Barnsley with the loss, 18 points and 27. There's now a little bit of a divide that's happening as Bolton starting to eke their way back into this one, scratching, crawling, scrambling to try and get into the mix. And I think from where they were, they've largely done it now. 17 matches, 30 points. I think that's good on them. And for Mansfield Town, 3 losses in a row and a draw. That's a loss at losing points in 4 straight. That's how fast it can go south. Is now they do have 2 games in hand, but they're sitting at 24 points. Exeter City, much the same thing. They've lost points 3 in the last 5. They've lost points in 4 out of 5. So they've slid down, and Charlton eking their way back up a little bit, trying to save things. To me, it's starting to get pretty, well split here. And the question is, and that's another question I'll put out in the chat, is do we start to cheer against Birmingham in that Stockport match? Do we think that if Stockport's going to lose Louis Barry, are they really the same team then? And if they are going to lose them, and even if they don't, do we take this as an opportunity for Stockport to be at 33 points, having played the same number of games? We'll have 4-point advantage on them, and put Birmingham in a position where they'll have 2 games at hand. They would have to win both to be able to take the second spot from us as we try to narrow down the autos.
I don't know. What are we hoping for Wickham to not be the team that they were in the first half? Like, in totally the wheels come off?
Yes. I mean, do I think that Wickham necessarily has it? No. But they keep winning, right? Or today at least getting a draw. And well done, Exeter City, for taking points. Thank you for that. But we'll take sort of a chink in the armor. 12 wins, 4 draws. Or sorry, 12 wins, 3 draws, 2 losses now for Wickham with their draw today. Has my Google updated? Yes, it has. So as to the stats on this one, just to go through it, hold on, let me get this off. Oh, my hair's probably a mess, but that's okay. Oh. Don't mind the dew. Are we going to go to the FOTMob stats then?
Yeah, they're up.
They're up. I'm going to walk us through it. What did we anticipate? We anticipated that they were going to have a little bit more possession than we did. They had a 6% more for the season, and that's pretty much what they stood at is the standard. The XG, not so good for either team. Nobody, a 0-0 draw, the sort of the expected outcome on this one. 12 total shots, 6 on target. Fascinating they had higher XG when they only had 2 shots on target. And maybe evident that Humphreys himself had a horrible game. Lowest player on the FOTMob rankings, and subbed early for Jello because he just wasn't performing. The man that was potentially at one point lined up and only had the offer to come over to Wrexham, but decided he wanted to stay at Wigan. No big chances for anybody in the game. Accurate passes were pretty close to our season average there with the 246 and then with the 301. It's going to be a fascinating one. This one against Burton, and it identified there in the chat that says, take your cold Canada air back, please. It got lost. The Wrexham kit sauna. It was identified by somebody that Burton, that is who we have next, 24th overall. But we're going to have test the depth on this one because it's going to be, I'm assuming, Howard and Hall that are going to be our keepers. I don't think you can change our back line. That's 3 clean sheets in a row. So what do you do if you're Dan Scar and you're sitting there spectating on these ones? You just kind of, I think, have to.
By the way, I scrolled all the way down in FOTMob to where they had rated all the players. and 8-5 for O'Connell, Rathbone 8-2, then Brunt with 7-7.
Yeah, and 3 players ahead of everybody else, and then you scroll down to the bottom, and maybe that is, if we want to talk about differences in the match, and go to the bottom 2. Stephen Humphreys, all the history that he had, during the January window, potentially coming to Wrexham, him coming out and with his article a couple of days ago that said, I was happy with Wigan, I wanted to stay, was no measure of disrespect. And then the club went a different way during the summer window. And Keller Dunn, who's usually feasts on Wrexham a little bit, at 5.9. And you look at a game that's this tight, and that's the delta. That's the delta. Forget the stats, is you had 2 players up front for Barnsley who didn't do anything. Long may that continue. I think that Ben Killip had himself a solid game, considering his 57.5% save rating. He ended up 7 shots on target and only let 1 in, so he's going to get quite a boost there on the goals against percentage. But man, let's just talk about that one for a second, Brendan, as far as quality win, the types of stuff that you want to eke out in matches. These 3 points, these will be remembered, right? The Lincoln City one, that eking that one out with the extra goal, that's one that you probably forget about at the end of the year, as far as stealing 2 extra points in near the end of the game. But this is one that you'll remember. You'll talk about this one, and Rathbone going on a run. What did you see about it, and what's your take as to how that affects things going forward?
Yeah, I think this is a momentum builder. I love the fight they showed. It got a little physical towards the end. They were all fired up. They were able to strike back and convert that great play. And it being in extra time, I think that's one of those things, especially on a Tuesday when we only have to wait till Saturday. That's the kind of thing that I think you can build momentum off of, and I'm hoping that's the case. They'll carry that in. This is the tougher of the last away games, right? We're Burton Albion, right?
Yeah, that's we're.
Sorry, no, this is Burton.
We got the softer schedule starting Burton on the road.
It's Bristol Rovers. That's the away game that's hard, right? This is Burton. This is nothing. This shouldn't be anything, right? This is the worst.
Well, it is, but then we're going to have to change things up. So let's talk about what the lineup's going to look like next time. Your back line's not going to change. You're going to have Burton out, so that, I suspect. So that's Howard and Hall are going to be our keepers. You're going to have a midfield that you've got to pull Dobson out, and you've got to pull McLean out on the wing. So Revan obviously draws in on the wing.
Yeah.
Right, I would assume.
Yep.
You've got midfield. I guess Matty James stays in the back.
Yes.
And I suppose Cannon comes in, which isn't a significant step
down. Not necessarily. You could say that was the first time that you thought at some point you gotta go back to Mullen, right? And you might now basically use that excuse. And if you went to Mullen and said, you played with far more effort, you looked like Mullen, you've earned your way back, maybe he takes that and then he just goes with it, I would love to see this be the time that Cannon's on the bench, Lee comes back one, Dobson out, and they put Mullen in with Palmer and let him.
Yeah, I got no complaints about that. And Rod, appreciate it. It's always nice getting Wrexhamites and long-standing Wrexham fans to help join us as we try to extend this and embrace the club ourselves.
Rod, send us some pics. I want some pics from the stadium.
We'll have to post. I'll post it as well as a community post at some point to so that it's out there and constant. But I appreciate that. That's it. And Brandon, kudos to you. I think the exclamation marks were fitting. People were putting them in when they were needed, and they weren't overwhelming. And I think it went relatively well. So, and to everybody who supported and sponsored. And the biggest thing is, before you leave, smash that like button one more time. And if you're listening over on Twitter, jump on over to YouTube and hit a subscribe and get updated as we look to do, hopefully expand on the Who Are Yous and get some hors d'oeuvres out there. As I really am fascinated about that football bill, and I kind of want to do a summary of, hey, I'm the painful guy who listened to Hansard for 4 hours. This is what I can take as clips and put them out there. So, but yeah, Discord, a lot of fun, and full disclosure, Local Pundit has a Discord as well, so you can join that one, join ours, used for different purposes, build the community, get to know the people that are involved. It's kind of a nice little feature. Haven't mentioned the sponsor, by the way, just one more time before we wrap up. The Ultimate Promotions, ultipromo.com, ultimatepromotions.biz. They've made it, they've sponsored, they paid the money to make this a ad-free, all of our watch-alongs all season long. So make sure you go there and check that one out. They make pins, soft pressed ones like this one, soft enamel, hard enamel, that if you need them for your club, for sport training, even for work, if you need badges or medals, you want unique giveaways, free artwork, free shipping. So go ahead and test those ones out. Northern Border says, this is a tale of two seasons for me, with JM and post JM. And yeah, maybe the three, the return of JM. And it's what's been good is you lose a player, your leading scorer, you still find a way to win. You end up losing your starting goalkeeper, and they've still been finding a way to win. You've had some knocks and some changeovers and some movement in the back line. You're still finding a way to win. Frick, 3 clean sheets in a row. Like, what is going on? Defensively, like, we are El Fuego. Thou shall not pass is definitely the message on this one. I'm still hoping to get that logo for the Rob Ryan Red thing to come forward as to what my vision would be if we were to change the badge, just for a laugh. So I'm hoping I can get that out in the next couple of days, because I flagged him and said, you said 2 days, it's now been 4. And so we'll see where that's at. What else do I have to contribute? That was nuts. I'm looking forward to going back and seeing how I reacted to that one myself. Because I felt that one. That goal from Rathbone, I called it live. So what was your take on that one, Brendan?
I mean, it was exciting. It was so perfect of a goal. I wanted him to shoot. I wanted to yell shoot, because they had backed down too much and he had got into a really dangerous area. And I'm glad he did. I mean, he hasn't been accurate. I would say that I felt far better with Rathbone taking it than I would have Dobson. So as much as I expected them to not take Dobson out because they would want to have their best defender out there, or second best defender in the midfield, out there for the end of the game, to make sure we didn't give away a point. That's why I expected Rathbone to go out and Cannon to come in, but I was happy that it was Rathbone pushing forward with the ball and not Dobson. That's for sure.
Yeah. Didn't know. I mean, you've heard over and over and over again, Rathbone is a box-to-box, is a box-to-box defender, or a box-to-box midfielder. And so I just always assumed that he didn't have anything in it when it came to firing at goal. And he'd end up scoring like a scrambly sort of found a ball that lands on his feet and he chipped it in, if he was going to get any at all, because he's not going to get a header. I wouldn't anticipate with his height, but he found a way, got it done with an absolute cracker. Here's the other problem I'm dealing with. I'm going to watch the Stockport game and Birmingham game tomorrow, but I'm not going to do a stream. I'm just going to have it set up on the side of my desk. Who do I give my money to? I don't want to give my money to anybody. If you're in the US, you don't have this problem. I think it's on Paramount Plus. You'll probably have it picked up, and so you can just do your thing. I got to give one of those two teams money. I don't like it. And in fact, I probably hate Stockport so much that even though they're a smaller club, I'm probably just going to give it to the Giant anyway. Yeah. Because I don't. Stockport's not a rivalry, but their fans are annoying. Just a whole lot of nonsense.
They're more angry at us. We don't give it too much.
Yeah, like I don't give it, but it's unintelligible garbage. Yeah. And so I got no time for it. So I'll probably give Birmingham the drop in the bucket. So if anybody, I might be on Twitter as we follow along on that one. A couple of other games going on tomorrow. I got to go to the table here for the League One matches. It's Shrewsbury, but I can't remember who they've got.
If anybody has ideas for things that they'd love to be able to trigger or something like that, feel free to send them to us in Discord or during the next stream convention.
So Burton on the road to Peterborough, which I would probably normally be interested in watching anyway, but I'll leave that one alone. Birmingham hosting Stockport tomorrow at 11:45. And are you on team draw, or are you on team Stockport win on that one?
Truthfully, I'm not really worried about Stockport, and I don't really care who we get if we were to make playoffs, I want to shoot for the automatics. I want the 1 or 2 spot. So, but I think the biggest worry is Wickham and Birmingham, and I'd be more worried about Huddersfield than I would Stockport. And the same thing about Bolton. I don't think Stockport's going to be wounded when they lose. What's his name? And then Barry. So I expect them to peter off a little bit. I'm far more worried about Bolton, Huddersfield, Birmingham, and Wickham than I am about Stockport. So
yeah,
give me the points.
I'm with you on that one. I just the idea of Stockport beating Birmingham would just annoy me so much that I don't think I can do that. I don't know if I can do it. David's with Team Stockport win. Your Team Stockport win. I'll be the counter. I'll just say let's get a draw out of this one. 4 points less out of the 6 that are available. Right, one each, and that puts them at 34. So they had 500 to get in, but lots of runway left in the season. Yeah, that's what I'll probably go for. I'll go for a draw, but if Stockport ends up taking it, I won't be that upset. Look, we're back on Saturday for the Burton match. I'm going to have to do the Who Are Ya in short succession and try and get that one out here quicker rather than later. As far as the Wrexham matches go coming up here, let's just try and get these forward. I'm curious to see how the whole viewing parties went in Houston and in LA. It's a fascinating project, and if they are as good as they go, I'd love to see them come up into Vancouver, Toronto after they're done their, I'm assuming, U.S. expansion. Just hold your nose, indeed, especially because the game's in Brum. I can smell it from here. So Burton, and then we've got Crew Alexandra the following Tuesday at home for the second round match. I guess it says second round, but it's the first round of the playoffs for Crew and Wrexham. And then we're back Saturday, at home against Cambridge United, and then on the road. And then it gets into the quick succession where you have the 21st with Bristol, the 26th Boxing Day with Blackpool. Then we've got Wigan Athletic right before New Year's, and then Barnsley again, this time on the road, New Year's Day. Be curious to see if by then how long Burton's out. Be curious to see what that report card is in. So we'll follow along on Twitter and see. To everybody that's here, thanks. I'm going to jump back into work. I know Brandon's probably got some stuff to do. Mass appreciation, Brendan, again for setting everything up, doing what you're doing on your end, and continuing to grow this. Thank you to the sponsors and supporters who make this thing go, and to all of you who have liked the button, stepped in. Make sure you do it again. Have yourself a wonderful evening after an amazing performance. Man of the match, let's get the poll. Rathbone, 57%, taking that one down. I don't know if Chomp actually got any votes. Let me put that one in there. And end the poll. End the poll. How do I end the poll? There it is. I just want to do it so that if I don't end the poll before we end up losing the stream, I don't get it. So there's the stats. 57-26, and wow, Chomp pulled up 16%. Good for him. Much love and happiness. We'll see you guys again. Still 55 of you watching. If you're over on Twitter, if you're over on Twitch, jump on over to YouTube. Set yourself up so you can take part in the chat. We'll catch you guys next time, Saturday. Take care.